06. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
1819 News.
Smile Hub has rated Alabama as the most religious state in the union. Alabama came in at number 1, followed by Virginia, Texas, Tennessee, and North Carolina. Smile Hub placed Alabama as first in religious interests, as well as the number of places to worship. The state also came in 5th in religious education. Governor Ivey has responded to the ratings coming from Smile Hub, saying that the state has a long history of faith and community deeply intertwined, and she also said it's a blessing to live in a faith-rich state. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
An employee within the Oneonta City Schools has been arrested right before the start of class. 29-year-old Luis Vasquez was working as a 7th grade science teacher as well as soccer coach for both boys and girls. Vasquez is being charged with soliciting a sex act from a student. Vasquez was then placed on administrative leave after he bonded out of jail on Wednesday. A federal judge has dismissed the civil lawsuits filed against 3 Decatur police officers involving the shooting death of Stephen Perkins in 2023. The judge did determine that the civil rights violation lawsuit can still move forward, that is against the 4th police officer, Mac Marquette. Marquette is also facing murder charges in that shooting. Big Lots is closing down over 300 of its retail stores nationwide. Big Lots is based out of Ohio and has a total of 1,300 stores throughout the U.S. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hey folks, thank you for making CTE Outdoor Power a preferred dealer and Hustler one of the most popular riding mowers. Recently, I met a couple from Evergreen who discovered us because friends recommended both CTE and Hustler. They heard our team of friendly, helpful professionals would guide them to the Hustler model that's the best fit for them, and that because we support all the products we sell, we take the hassle out of future needed parts and service. They liked Hustler because of the highest quality and warranty, and that we partner with Hustler to offer 0% interest financing. Now, if you haven't discovered Hustler and CTE yet, now is the perfect time because this month, when you mention this ad, we'll pay the sales tax when you purchase any new riding mower. Folks, can you get all that anywhere else? CTE Outdoor Power, I-85 at Perry Hill Road and CTEOutdoorPower.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, Mick, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his hand. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. How are you dumb crackers doing today?
Nah.
Wait, you responded when I said that? So that's how you describe yourself? Eddie Bader here in the studio with me.
I've called cracker quite often.
Really?
Yeah.
I only use it in a jovial, joking manner.
That's
I never seriously call somebody cracker or whitey or hunky or any of that
Most
stuff.
of the time it's my friends that call me that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a jovial thing, greeting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's, I'm sure I've been called that in a derogatory manner.
So are we all even
laugh.
keel today?
I am.
You are?
Yeah, I'm good.
See, I know you. I know this guy. And, you know, I've been doing these very emotional outbursts lately, despairing, some might say. But I know you relate. You just keep it bottled up inside.
No, I'm
Just bottled up inside.
I found other ways to express that kind of energy.
Wow.
I tried to install a ceiling fan for the last 3 days.
Yeah, that'll let the rage out. That's by yourself.
Well, I called in back up yesterday. Justin,
I was about to say,
brought
you
me in.
need
We
a
finished
second
it.
person just to hold it in place.
Yeah, and it's a big one, and these projects seem simple when you start.
Right, when you
and then
start,
2 days
and-
later, you're calling your son to come save you. So,
Okay, so you actually put it in like man's work.
yeah, run the wire, the whole nine.
Okay. Now, there's plenty to get to in politics, but let's start with an awful story I just noticed as I was looking at
All right.
Twitter X. You familiar with CrossFit?
Yeah,
And it's become a fairly big sport.
I think
And
it's
a
great.
lot
It
of
gets people
competition.
into people that normally wouldn't be into physical fitness is bringing them in.
Well, and I think some of these folks who do the CrossFit Games, they're just physical freaks, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like the men and the women. It's like, that gum.
Yes.
Like when you think of the Amazons, I'm like, well, now it makes sense.
Well, I see some of them. Yeah.
Now it makes a lot of sense. So as the Olympics is going on, the CrossFit Games, I think, kicked off today.
Oh, okay. Where are
And
they
what-
at? Do you know?
I'm not even sure. But in the first event, I think it was a swimming event, during the swim portion
Yeah.
of the event, a man drowned.
Ooh.
This is in Fort Worth, Texas, is
Dude.
where they're doing this.
Do they, not to sound silly, but do they not have lifeguards or anything?
They had apparently two guys in look like kayaks
Yeah.
that just didn't see him.
Oh man.
And you can see all the athletes swimming, and this is like a pretty large, I think, pond or lake, probably pond. But the story from Fort Worth, Texas is a CrossFit Games athlete died after a reported drowning in a Fort Worth lake on Thursday during the first day of competition in the multi-day event. Officials did not name the athlete, though they canceled all the events for the rest of the day. Dadgum, man.
Wow.
I can't even imagine.
So in the video, can you see how far the kayakers are away from them?
Yeah, they just
out
don't
of view?
notice him. They could have just easily gone over there. And you can see the
Solid.
guy's head. He's clearly bobbing and trying to just keep above
He's
water.
probably in the middle of all.
And I
everyone
think
else
it's
swimming.
my first blush on this is just pure exhaustion.
Yeah, you were saying it wasn't the first event. It was like a triathlon.
Yeah.
So this,
I mean, and knowing how they do these things, they usually do these literally CrossFit. So cross training, you're doing different types of things. Swimming often comes in part of it. Here's the CEO of the CrossFit Games, because man, what a screw up and what a tragedy. You would think these are, I've noticed with folks who are real healthy,
yeah.
who do this sort of stuff, they just give off an energy. They really seem like happy people.
Oh,
They
yeah.
sort of talk about letting out dark, negative energy.
Yeah.
They get it out in the workout. So this is something you never want to see. Here's the CEO of the CrossFit Games.
CrossFit is deeply saddened by the death of one of our athletes during the swim portion of our event this morning. We're doing everything in our power during this tragic time to support the family, to support our community. We are collaborating and working very closely with the authorities on the follow-on investigation.
Yeah, he's pretty much breaking
Cancel
down.
the rest of today's events and activities in the CrossFit Games, and we'll continue to be focused on supporting our community and the family through this tragic.
That's tough, man.
Because the idea is to push yourself.
Yeah.
The
Well,
idea
I've
is-
seen the games, and yeah, they're a little extreme to say the least.
Right. But unfortunately, these sort of things happen when you push yourself to extremes. I just can't believe they didn't have the proper safety protocols in place.
Yeah, I'm surprised, especially with technology nowadays. Especially they would have drones, overhead drones that have life-saving equipment on them.
Okay,
Drop down, that kind of stuff.
Here's the video. Let me put it full screen here. Looking at it, it's, I think, a drone footage. So you can see the people swimming. Yeah, okay, let's pause it. You see, like, that little divot right there in the back?
Yep.
That's that guy. And he's clearly trying to keep his head up, swim a little forward. Yep.
See, he's struggling. You can definitely see he's struggling.
And I guess if you go back to the wide shot, yeah, look, there are two guys on like paddle boards on either side of them. How did they miss this?
They weren't watching him, I guess. Man.
And that's right near where they were
Yeah, ain't 30,
getting off.
30 yards offshore.
Oh man, that's awful. And of course, the Olympics have had their problems too, but nothing like this. I don't know. That just caught my attention because one of the growing sports in this world.
All the people that were just on the shore, I can't believe no one else noticed.
Yeah. Wow. What a way to go. You ever get a close call swimming?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where?
Most of my life.
No, every time you get in the water?
No, honestly, I didn't know this till scuba diving later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
Your body involuntarily tries to intake air, and it makes a noise. Most of my life, I knew that, but I just thought it was me. And one time when I told my scuba diver instructor, it's up. I mean, it's
no. Let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
Give me an example of the noise. 1, 2, 3.
It's your lungs involuntarily trying to take in air. Yeah.
Okay.
And
this is you underwater.
Yeah, I just thought it was, my body telling me, just, hey, you're running out.
It's like Jimmy Carr's horse laugh.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just a unique idiosyncratic thing for
a dive instructor goes, no, dude, that's your body trying to you need to get to the surface before that happens. And, yeah.
Yeah, that probably, your chest is probably compressed.
But I think I've done it most of my life, so it's very normal to me.
I mean, like, was there a moment where you're like, I'm going to swim from here to here, and you are about 3/4 of the way there?
Laugh at how redneck we are.
Okay.
Growing up in Highland Gardens, we used to ride our bicycle to the Tallapoosa River.
Okay.
Right there in Wetumpka.
Yeah.
And to prove that we were men, which we were not, we would swim across it.
The Tallapoosa.
And some days were better than others, depending on the current.
How wide is it?
35, 45 yards.
That's a pretty good
current.
swim.
Oh,
with
it's,
current.
Dude,
That's a heck of a swim.
Heck of a swim.
Yeah.
And there were several times where when you made it, if it had been 10 yards longer, you would not have made it.
And with strong current, so that's pushing you down.
Yeah.
River.
And we rode there from our bicycles. I mean, there were several times. It messed up in
and
a
where
boat
you
before,
just were like, I'm so close.
Yeah. But I've been around water like, most of my life. So plus things like that happen a lot in my life.
Never have a fish scare you while scubaing?
Yeah, when I scuba dove the Georgia Aquarium, that was the scariest one.
What? Wait, you've been in tropical locations. You've been all over the place scuba. The scariest was the scuba at the Georgia Aquarium.
They have a whale shark there. They have a couple. One of them both of them is as large as a school bus.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So when he came around, me and Justin did it, and Justin was giving me a signal that I didn't really understand, but he was telling me to look up. When I looked up, that fish was 10 inches above me. And that thing's as big as a school bus, and I was on the bottom. There was nowhere for me to go. And I just watched him come over me.
Is this thing going to crush me?
Well, it was so much that, and the fish surrounding were bumping me, but it was holy crap how big this thing was. I got to know that on a very personal level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never told anybody this before, but it was such an adrenaline rush. When I got out of the water into the shower, puked my guts out from the adrenaline.
Wow.
Yep. That was the biggest adrenaline rush I've had as an adult male.
Well, so would you say your fight or flight, like you saw your life flash before your eyes?
Well, no, I just fight or flight kicked in so many times. It's just
right.
It's a Tuesday.
The whale shark.
I'm telling you, that whale shark, anybody that ever has a chance to do that, do it.
Yeah.
It is the most, out of everywhere I've ever scuba dove in my life, that was the most amazing dive. Because again, you're in an aquarium, so you're in a really fixed, tight environment. So you're going to have really good experiences like that. Good times.
Man. Well,
anyway, you want to go scuba diving with me?
Sure, actually.
You should go. I wish everyone would experience it.
No, I just need to get the damn passport. Like,
we can go down to Destin.
Do it.
We can go to Bessemer, and there's like a gravel pit. That's how redneck we are.
Hit some gravel pit in Bessemer. That sounds like some sexual innuendo. Knowing you.
No, there's literally a plane in that gravel pit that you can scuba dive down to.
Okay.
Fire truck too.
Oh, fair enough. Let's go to Bessemer then.
Yeah, wherever it takes, man.
I don't even know where that is.
Birmingham area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Probably not in the best area of Birmingham, would be my guess, because there's a gravel pit.
That just like, hey, Eddie, let's go on a day trip. You're like, where are we going? I'm like, well, let's go to Moundville.
Moundville's pretty cool.
Yeah,
lots of mounds.
Yeah, but that's, once you get there, you're like, this is cool. But then you're like, it's a bunch of mounds.
Yeah. My day trip usually involves, better time. Good time.
Yeah.
More exciting time.
Right.
And a few bush lights.
And chili cheese dogs.
Ooh, man.
On the go. Not the good ones either, like gas station, like that nitro cheese.
It's best it's been on that rotisserie a day or so it's got some good snap when you bite into it.
Yeah. Or maybe the cheese is on the inside, one of those, like those jalapeno cheddars.
You get fancy.
Yeah, and it gives you that gut bomb later, but you're like, it was worth it.
It's worth it.
It was worth it.
It's worth it, man. That's like awful waffle omelets.
So anyway, that's our coverage of the CrossFit Games. I wonder now the liability, all sorts of stuff's going to come up. That's got to be...
I imagine there's waivers, all kinds of, but still, not good for press.
No, that ain't good at all. Well, daggum. Because I really think it was a good event. And,
well, not to bring something up too crazy, but
yeah.
You see the people that were trying to kill Taylor Swift?
I did see that.
I got to be honest. I think I'm supposed to say she's a national treasure and all that, but I'd hate to see her go.
Because it was 2 teenagers in Austria.
Yeah.
Like ISIS affiliated.
Right. I don't get it. I don't like
How
her,
could they
but
not guarantee security? I guess these are just massive events.
You still got to come through a very limited number of doors.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I was listening to Scott Adams this morning, his little morning talk that he does after I got out of the exercising. And he was talking about he thinks outdoor events might be a thing of the past for too long. Because think about if you have experience piloting a drone. Yeah. If you could automate these drones, give it AI, so even if it does lose, it has jamming, it can still essentially direct itself.
Yep.
How do you stop stuff like that around open event arenas?
You have to have some type of jamming equipment, but again, I don't know if that technology really
or
exists
nets.
Yet.
You got to start putting massive nets around your stadiums. Man. Because I'd imagine Taylor Swift, being she is the billion-dollar woman, this was a huge venue, and if it is outdoors, that's tough to secure.
It very well. Well, we saw that with Trump.
Yeah, we did see that with Trump. By the way, there's a new report, a watchdog report, showcasing the enormous Secret Service failures on January 6th.
I'm telling you, dude, they're not batting 1,000.
So we're finding that's about January 6th.
Right.
Do we have a clear answer? Like, say, the shooter's motivation. Do we know that yet when it came to the Trump assassination?
We do not. One of the strange things that I heard was that when they did go to his house looked like it had been professionally cleaned. No silverware to be found.
Right. Just doesn't add up.
Right.
Does not add up. The stolen valor charges against Walls.
Yeah.
Sticking around, I mean, there's folks like Pete Buttigieg and, all the loyal soldiers for the Democrats.
Yeah.
Out there saying, hey, he didn't do anything wrong. How dare he? He was even a higher rank than you, J.D. Vance. They're trying to make it about Vance is saying my record's better than yours. Again, they answer the question they wanted you to ask, or they answer the criticism they wanted you to give. They don't actually, in good faith, address what somebody said. But that's the world we live in.
How can his record be better than his Vance's?
Vance was, I think, like an E4.
Right.
And he was an E8. But
when Vance was called to serve, he went. Whereas the other guy called to serve, he left.
Right. Well, I think what this comes down to is, did Walls lie after the fact? Like, if you were 24 years in the National Guard, and like you did that, you served, and you never saw duty, I mean, there's still plenty of mad respect. Just don't lie about it.
Right.
And that's what's the line that's been crossed here. And then there are other Special Forces guys out there saying, why are you wearing a hat with the Special Forces emblem?
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's what I think might be a problem for Walls. We'll see. At the end of the day, do the VPs really matter in people's decision-making? Again, we'll see. And also, I believe at 1 o'clock our time, we might as well carry it live. Donald John Trump having a major bigly press conference at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, really? Mar-a-Lago?
They only valued it for like $14 million.
I would give him 14.5.
I get that in a season.
I would give him 14.5 today.
So that we'll have to carry that press conference live. I'm sure there's going to be fireworks.
Yeah.
Press corps ready to go. Throw things at him. Let's see how Trump is. Is he going to stay on message?
That's what everybody wants. So I got to go with no.
All right. Now, the polls are all over the place. Some showing Kamala up nationally. 2 big polls showing Trump up, surging among millennials and Generation X. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And this is where it's gone from, not only is Joey upset that people on the right and the left, the activists are just so shockingly full of crap. Like, it's hard to believe things, just how dishonest, the incentive people have to be dishonest is so shocking that it's hard to believe anything anybody's saying. Add to that AI. Did you see that some folks were processing some of the pictures of the Kamala rallies, or like her getting off the plane? And people ran it through AI recognition software and said it's fake. And when you zoom in, I'm like, it definitely looks AI enhanced. Yeah, some of the phones, like one of the phones, like everybody's holding up their phone to film.
Yeah.
You zoom in and it's a picture of a camera.
Oh, man. Oh.
And you know how AI has that glossy thing to it?
Yes.
So I'm sure, I know for a fact there were a lot of people at these Kamala events. But again, you have to start wondering, what am I even looking at? Like, look closely. Because you don't have to just do it out of whole cloth. That would be obvious. But if you're subtly adding more crowd, if you're subtly adding a certain pop to a picture and image, who knows?
Well, I know this is before your time, but Paula Abdul back in the 80s got caught doing that in the video.
Really?
Yeah, she was trying to hide some of her fatness.
Paula Abdul?
You could tell.
What was her hit again?
There were so many. Cold-Hearted Snake, we'll just call that one of them. But there, you could tell because
Not
when
a
it
very
would
nice
show her.
thing to call her.
It wasn't her. Talking about men like yourself.
That's not very nice either.
When she'd go to dance and they would show her body, it would blur just a little bit, and you could tell it was a tell. I remember she got busted with that, but she was still hot. She didn't need to do that.
I guess the song Straight Up.
Downtown, yeah.
Straight Up Downtown. No, that's not what I'm thinking.
Straight Up Downtown.
Don't love me forever. Oh.
Yeah, Straight Up Downtown. Duh.
Yeah. Oh. God, it sounds like Eddie's in the crick.
I got $10 worth of pennies in my pocket. I can't swim.
So what a time to be alive, folks. There are good things in the world. Like
you found something?
Well, and I did. It kind of made me just happy. The SpaceX president and COO, Gwynne Shotwell, she's talking about that, and they now have these Starlink minis.
Yes, I've seen them.
And she strapped one to her truck because her calls kept dropping with Elon, and she lives on some massive ranch in the middle of nowhere in Texas.
Of course she does.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, that's a woman right there. Well, dadgum. Yeah. But that technology is cool. And I think it suggests, I know Alabama's all about this. Like, we need more rural broadband.
Then to quit running the cable and start buying these.
Yeah. You can do this much cheaper and much faster.
Cheaper. And it gets to people who really want it.
Right. I think that's a great solution.
I agree. But yeah, I've seen those. In fact, my buddy in Jamaica, Marvin, he has a Starlink. Because their internet is not dependable. And his Starlink's right on the money.
So y'all buckle in. There's plenty to cover today. Before we go to the phones at 334-272-9228. Again, that's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're at the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy or sell here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas here in the River Region real estate market. And not only can they help you with buying and selling, they also can manage that property, which is a fantastic service. Say you want to convert a home into a rental, say you got to move. You don't want to sell.
Right.
Have the Goodson Group for a reasonable fee manage it for you. Or maybe you bought a property. The goal was to invest in a rental, but you don't really know the management side of things.
True.
Because there's a lot of headaches that can be involved if you are not aware of them. Again, the Goodson Group can do that for you. And the crown jewel there, maybe you want to learn to manage, is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed real estate programs here in the state because of, I think, the proof that of all the folks that have gone on to find success after graduating. So you can become a fully licensed realtor after taking this course. It'll help you really study up for that test. Or maybe you're just looking to be a more knowledgeable private player here in the River Region real estate market or beyond. So check them out today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor here. News and views in the afternoon. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Good evening, fella.
Hello, Randall.
Randall, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I love the drone conversation, man. You know that they actually call them vampire drones up in New York. They don't ever have to come back to nobody. They recharge themselves on a power line. So whatever data they put in them, they never have to see that drone again for weeks or months on time. And and they're using them. Another bad, I say bad, is they're using them against the 18-wheeler or CDL drivers up there, and they supposedly had done wrote one real ticket. I don't know in New York, but I ain't too sure about that part. And then they also used them to warn about flooding. They went around everywhere, and they just punched it in to go warn everybody about flooding. And they say they used some vampire drones for that, so they would just charge back up and keep running and telling everybody. So what y'all saying is right on, man. It's getting,
and it's changing the face of war. Like, I mean, especially look at the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Well, yeah, I seen a video this morning where a drone took out a helicopter.
Yep.
And the guy put it out. He's like, "This drone's $1,000." Yep. The missiles that would have taken to take out this helicopter cost 10 times that.
On the conversation we had with Arthur Herman, he said,
"Oh, yeah,
I was right on the money that you need to go away from the big projects and the big assets and go to smaller stockpiles of things that are cheaper and more nimble."
Yep.
Whether you're talking drones in the air or drones under the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. I like that one you said, drones under the sea.
That's another
one.
That's another one.
They could, yeah, and it's real big, and nobody talks about it, and especially hauling drugs back and forth. They use it some.
Yep.
Doing that too. And it's kind of like our ghost boats, our ghost fleet. You know, we were talking about that time of ghost ships. You know, they got the same thing. I mean, ghost submarines. So they ain't really having to put nobody in harm's way, and they just, it's hard to see so much out there in that big sea. It just disappears, you know. So, but anyway, I just want to tell you, you right on about them putting it into their mind what they can do, and they don't even have to come back home for nothing. They just recharge where they're at, keep on going. So you can actually let them loose from anywhere. You don't have to be nowhere. What's scary about it, you don't have to be nowhere near a concert to get it done. You could be a state over. But anyway, fella, man, good talking to y'all.
You too, Randall.
Appreciate it, Randall.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
272-9228.
Joey, some of the crazy things they can do with the drone is they'll literally put your face in the drone and tell go find Joey.
Oh, sure.
And that's, I mean, like Randall was saying, it don't have to be in this state. I can just put it up and it goes, especially with these rechargeable functions like this. So
yeah, I just feel like the way my life's going to go is one day I'll be sitting on like a mound. Maybe I'll go to Moundville. And I'll start meditating. And I'll realize I'm finally happy. And that's when the drone comes in. It takes me out.
What happens if you're sitting there one day and the drone just falls out of the air and lands next to you? So you go, oh, crap.
Yeah, and it waits. You're like, now you're going to teach. Just do it already. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this? Hello, anybody there? Anybody at all? No?
No.
All right. How about this? Let's hit a break.
Somebody
though just sent me a meme, Eddie.
Oh?
Saying when you Photoshop Donald Trump's lips onto his eyes, he literally looks the same.
Well, that's just weird.
It is, but it's true. I'm looking at it. It's like, here, I'll show you. Like, kind of looks the same.
Yeah, it does. It's weird, though. It's very strange.
Well, that's maybe because where his mouth is, don't make me reveal my third eye.
Oh.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Sounds like a job for DC by the
Annual truckload sale, and we're celebrating over 40 years in business. Join the celebration and get a brand new Carrier AC and heating system from AC by the Choir and save 20%. Plus, get 0% interest financing with approved credit. Turn to the experts at acbythechoir.com today to see how you can save on a brand new Carrier system.
Sounds like a job for AC by the Choir.
License number 84417.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor. which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text KING to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text KING to 321-321. That's KING to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show's so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Everybody, the contrast is amazing. Lots of rain across the southeastern U.S., but not here for the next few days. Our rain chance is just about nil, let's say through the end of the week and in through the weekend. Meanwhile, the humidity down just a notch, but the temperatures are up a bit. High today in the upper 90s, triple-digit heat indices. I think we'll be near 100 tomorrow. Low tonight in the middle 70s. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for the next few days. So no flooding concerns here. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice, News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm Joey, that's Eddie.
Hey, Joey.
Hi. And M. Hogan in the comments section's been on fire. He says, got my 23andMe results back, and it turns out I descend from a line of assorted crackers. Insert box of Cars assorted wafers here. I don't like those.
You're not a Captain's Wafers kind of guy?
No, like, give me a Ritz.
I
give me like
Ritz.
Club Cracker.
You know what I don't like, though? The off-brand Ritz.
No, I agree with you there.
It's too far off, and it just makes me angry that it's not a Ritz.
I do like, what are it's the little elves. The Club
Keeper?
Crackers.
Yeah. Oh, no, those are good.
Those are real good.
I remember, the first time I had those, I knew I was at a fancy place.
Sorry, I just descended into details of how I got fat. Let's. M. Hogan, like I said, is on fire. He says, eat magic mushrooms, then hit Moundville. You will see Jim Morrison. I thought he died in Paris.
Me too.
Maybe his spirit lives in Moundville.
I see.
He was called back to his people. And then M. Hogan says straight up, now tell me, are you really going to love me forever? Yep. No. Indeed. That guy's on fire.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's paying attention. He's
not
listening.
Just a hit and run.
If you want to comment on the stream, you can always go to Joey Clark Live on YouTube or at the Joey Clark on Twitter X or even on Facebook. Though I don't like Facebook.
Yeah? I don't think they like you
the whole
either right now.
metaverse and that whole. I'm not a fan. Let's go to Simpler Days. Hey, Simpler Days.
A cold Michelob will make that cheap Ritz go down just right.
I hadn't had Michelob in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a few moons.
Yeah, they'll dark. It's good stand by.
Yep.
Hey, do you think that the vice president looks happier, more uplifting, and lighter since she got picked?
Like Kamala looks all those things now?
Yeah. Because if you think about it, she doesn't have to come out there every day and tell the lie and say, Joe's okay. Joe's okay.
Joe's okay.
No, Joe's really okay. Well, how okay is he? Well, no, Joe is okay.
No, the more I've been watching Joe, I'm thinking of a My Chemical Romance song.
Oh?
I'm not okay.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely doing the hiding with Biden again.
Well, as Sweet Nancy said, he should have been, like 20 years ago, been on Mount Rushmore. Time has passed him by. Have a good night, John.
So Joe really isn't okay because the stupid old man keeps talking.
Dude.
And this yesterday, I'm like,
he doesn't look good at all.
You know, my reaction to this I was about to play is that disaster descends like a fog you can't see but can feel becoming thicker and thicker.
Okay, that's nice.
Because of this, like, I'm thinking of like, oh, it's sundown time for old Joe here. Listen to this.
Are you confident that there will be a peaceful transfer of power in January 2025?
If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all.
Wait, he's going to correct himself.
I mean, if Trump loses, I'm not confident at all.
Wait, what?
Oh, let's just back it up.
Are you confident that there will be a peaceful transfer of power in January 2025?
If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all. I mean, if Trump loses, I'm not confident at all. He means what he says. We don't take him seriously. He means it. All the stuff about if we lose, there'll be a bloodbath. It's have to be a stolen election. Look what they're trying to do now.
What the hell are they talking about?
No, I think Trump has been saying, if we lose, it's going to be an economic bloodbath.
Oh.
But just for the president of the United States to say that.
Yeah.
All right. Go away, old man. We know that somebody's got their hand up your butt.
Oh, very much so.
Puppeteering you. Goodness gracious.
I still say he's going to pardon his kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think they're going to go on some, like, bender, and then he's going to pardon the kid and himself.
Okay, so you get a call.
So I killed the guy.
You get a call and says, hey, Joey, I'm going to go on a bender. Me, Biden, and his old man. Would you go?
I think that old man had crabs.
I think you should go, just as a reporter.
Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Red Top. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Man, I'm having a wonderful 4 days off. I'm
nice.
forcing myself not to work, and it's tough. For a workaholic, Belgian, it's tough, even at 70 years old. And, Joey, it looks like we might even, in another 4.5 years, I might call you up and tell you I'm still doing my 30 push-ups, sit-ups, and deep end. At 75. Would that be the most bizarre damn thing?
No, that'd be healthy. It's good for you.
I know, but damn, 5 years ago when we were talking about this when I was 65, it seemed like a milestone, but now, damn, Lord, these things, they're just like they have been since I was 19 years old. I'm so lucky. And let's talk about another subject, which a big report came out yesterday about obesity. Obesity has now gone up, even in America, even besides all the drugs they're taking. And my point now is the biggest drug scam happening since Ritalin. They let them advertise all these triglycerides and all these drugs, and now a month ago a report came out that says doctors are telling these people, well, you're going to kind of have to stay on these the rest of your life. That's not what they were originally intended to do.
From the folks that got you hooked on legal synthetic speed and heroin, now you can stab yourself in the stomach and eat whatever you want.
Yeah, man. And, most of these people only lose 10 or 15 pounds that weigh 250, 300 pounds. That's not really it. And the conclusion is really once people get overweight, they have inflammation, not fat. So the inflammation is a different story.
And I obviously can't prove what I'm about to say, but my sense is these generalized health studies are missing probably an underlying fact that people are incredibly unique in their physiology and what they respond to. So we got to more find what are the different strata of different types of bodies and people. And we might be better able to understand which diet's best, which nutrition regimen is best.
Well, the truth is, the real way to live is eat real food in small increments throughout the day. In fact, I almost don't eat it all. You would die on my diet. And I found as I get older, the less I eat, the better I feel. So very few people are practicing this, and it's really worth doing. Now, last night to shoot 'em up, or Sunday night to shoot 'em up in Montgomery, and no cops showing up. This is out damn outrageous. And I have a lot of customers. This wasn't far from Dan Moore's house, Joey.
I know.
Right.
So, what the hell? There are no damn police patrols in the neighborhood in this town. And no matter how much anybody complains about it, they're not going to do a damn thing, are they, guys?
Nope. Sadly, no.
This is another case of our government literally ignoring what we ask them, like the marijuana. It's been 3.5 years. They don't give a damn if I have a seizure every 15 damn minutes. You know, these Republicans and these people who run this damn state do not care about the people of Alabama. They care about protecting themselves. Am I wrong in coming to these violent conclusions?
No, I don't think you're off base. I think there are some people who mean well, and the problem is tough to solve. But there are other folks who say have been at the helm for a while, and this is the fruit of the rotten tree that's been planted. And
ain't no doubt.
Oh no, we got to fix the fruit now.
Hard to solve. They just go do what they're supposed to do. Supposed to get legalized marijuana for medical use. They didn't do it. These guys are like Anthony Fauci. They put their ass in jail if they're not doing their job. They would do it to either you and me, Joey.
Of course they would in a minute.
And not to mention Eddie Bader being that redheaded troublemaker. Did you see a lot of cops going back home yesterday?
I saw quite a few, yeah.
Yeah, oh man. You folks watch out on 231. They gonna get you, buddy. Roll Tide, go Trump.
Appreciate
and
it,
Trump's coming on soon in his news conference.
Yeah, we'll carry that live.
Thank you, bud.
Appreciate it.
See you, man.
Let's go to Eric. Hey, Eric.
Hi. I just want to talk about that CrossFit drowning.
Yeah.
He was in one of the probably the second or third exercises, and there in Fort Worth, he probably worked up a hell of a sweat, and then went in a pond, and the water isn't cold. The water is room temperature or body temperature. Right. So he just tried to swim, and didn't get rid of the heat that he normally would, and that made him exhausted.
Yeah, I think it looked like from the video he just lost all energy. Like you could see him trying to keep his head above water, and the fact that the guys on the paddleboards just didn't see him is a travesty.
Yeah. I worked in Dubuque, Iowa, in the swimming pools through high school and college, and on days off we used to go down to the 4th Street dock on the Dubuque side and swim across the Mississippi to East Dubuque because they had a sandy beach.
How long of a swim is that?
It's about 1.25 miles.
Heck, oh, man. Well, you're much better than I ever was.
No. I would have done it back then, probably 5 years after I left college. I would have said, "Are you kidding me?"
Fair enough.
Yep.
Because we had nothing. We had 3 or 4 of us that would swim. All of us were lifeguards, but we'd swim that width, and then we'd get over there, and suddenly dawned on us, "Hey, we got to swim to get back." Our friends were on the Dubuque side.
Yep.
Well.
Good planning.
Well, I appreciate the call, Eric.
Yep. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, man.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, man, I just want to, the Red Top's talking about the Republicans. It's not the Republicans. Republicans passed it. Should have been done 3.5 years ago. It's a Democrat that keeps suing because he doesn't get a license. Every time he don't get a license, he sues again. That's what's jamming it up. So, I don't want to call him out because, he'll sue me too. But anyway.
Hey, man, cannot argue with that.
He's not a sponsor for Blue Water, but he advertises on a bunch of other stations. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. That's just it's not Republicans. They can't do anything about the court system. As long as he sues, it's locked up. Talk to y'all later.
Hey, man.
I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, our judicial system. Think here in Alabama, but I would suspect all over the country,
nationwide, man.
quite constipated. It's almost like, how we get upset that Google's got a monopoly on advertising. It's like, the government's got a monopoly on the judiciary.
Well, just that statement that Kamala, it's come back around, said a while back, that, I have, with the power of my pen, I can make your life absolutely miserable, and there's not a darn thing you can do about it. And the day before we go to trial, I can say, forget about it.
Bah.
Yeah. And that happens. That happens a lot.
Well, we got to hit another break, but first, this part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing.
Good
you know
folks
those
over there,
guys.
man.
You know
I do.
James.
He's helped me out more times than I can count, buddy.
Good dude. And, of course, they can help you. Say you're looking to install new accessories in the bathroom, like to the shower, maybe a taller toilet, a new toilet.
Yep.
Could be a bidet even if you want to get real
go
fancy.
paperless.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be you're looking to just upgrade to, say, a tankless water heater system. Great idea.
Great idea. Save you some money.
Maybe it's an everyday plumbing problem like low water pressure or a clogged drain. Or it could be things that you didn't even think about, but you should be. Now, maybe the house has gotten a little older and the trees have gotten taller around you. It could be tree root invasion.
Could be.
Or if you do have a major leak inside or outside your home, Cole Plumbing, number one, understands time is of the essence, and number two, has this proprietary pipelining technology that allows them, with minimal discomfort to you and your home, to get in there and solve the problem. What does that mean practically? That they're not going to have to tear out a bunch of drywall.
Correct.
Or dig up a huge hole or trench in the yard trying to find this. They know with precision and expertise, they'll solve the problem. So check them out today. You can always go to coleplumbing.com or give James and the team a call at 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hart?
Yeah?
Well, I've been thinking, I'm tired of this house.
What? You want to move?
Yeah, but we'd have to do some updating, to get top dollar.
Updating really does make a lot of sense, especially when you're talking about lighting. That's where Crosby Electric comes in. They'll help you choose a stunning pendant fixture over your bathroom sink, dramatic flush mount lighting over your kitchen island, maybe some LED panels to backlight your countertops. Energy-saving LED lighting has really come down in price. Or how about a new ceiling fan that moves air more efficiently than fans built only 10 years ago? The bottom line, updating your lighting almost always delivers a full return on your investment.
Well, sweetheart, the house looks fabulous.
Yeah.
Guess I'll put out the for sale sign.
Wait.
What?
I don't want to move.
Find out how to turn your house into the home you'll never want to leave. Visit crosbyelectric.com or call 272-2085.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
I got worms. I got hairy legs.
Hold on to your butt.
Joey Clark.
I want to see Trump dancing to this.
Ooh, this could be a really
Like
good
the-
Trump dance song. Yes, it could be a very good Trump dance song.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Joey. He's Eddie.
Hey, Joey.
Why are you so down now?
No, I just saw something. You turn my phone off.
See, this is what happens to me. You see a thing, you're like,
Okay. I saw someone at Rick's Cafe in Jamaica, and you know what? It wasn't me.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
put me down
So
just
you're
a little
upset?
bit.
You're
Yeah,
a little-
put me down just a little bit.
Like, I wish I was there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So Trump's about to speak here, or
Oh,
do
yeah.
a press conference, actually.
Okay.
So here, there are folks out there saying this is such a great message Kamala was putting out yesterday. Of course, I'm talking about Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Who we're going to win this November.
Does she have anything she's like platforms or issues she's saying that we're going to take to the people?
Yeah, and here, this one's about issues.
Oh, okay.
Because, inflation's a big deal, right?
Yes, it has been for the last couple of
So
years.
Kamala's ready to fix it.
We believe in a future where we lower the cost of living for America's families so that they have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead.
Yeah, I'm all for
Well,
that.
aren't you like vice president now, lady?
Yeah.
Aren't you the lady vice president right now? You have been for 3.5 years.
And how long have we been fighting this ridiculous inflation?
But so I guess maybe she's seen the light, and what they're going to do is they're going to pull back the money printing.
Okay.
They're going to pull back the spending. In fact, they're going to fight for a return to sound money with even like a Bitcoin strategic reserve.
I do not see them do it.
Yeah, they're pull back the money printing and the monetization of our debt. They're going to pull back the spending to where we're at least getting to balance levels, and through growth we can start to take the debt down, because the debt interest payments are now something like 76% of income tax.
Really good idea you got there, buddy.
So I think but let's hear her out. How are you going to do that, madam?
Because while our economy is doing well by many measures,
Many measures, yes.
prices for everyday things like groceries are still too
That's
high.
right.
Yeah, they are.
You know it and I know
Yeah,
it.
I do it.
When I was Attorney General, I went after price-fixing schemes. And when I am president, it will be a day one priority to fight to bring down prices. I will take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging.
But we have a supply and demand market.
So more government control. And it's like, did these corporations all of a sudden just become more greedy?
No.
Or are they responding to, say, the cost of inputs? Oh,
Cost
no,
of
maybe
energy.
she's about to say that they'll drive down the price of energy by investing quickly, not taking a decade, getting it done, say, in a 3-4 year period, and, say, small nuclear plants all over the nation. Or drilling for more oil and natural gas.
Ooh, I don't
and
think
just
she's gonna say
across
that.
the board, that would lower the cost of inputs to a lot of different industries.
I don't want to predict the future, but she ain't going to say that.
But instead, no, what we're going to do is the reason your bacon costs so much is because of big pork.
See.
So, yeah, she's talking the issues, but it's the same socialist gobbledygook that I'm fighting for the little man against big corporations. The corporations are the ones who are your puppeteers,
Right.
lady.
Your big donors.
Will take on corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families. I will take
Talking
on
about
big
BlackRock?
pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans.
You're in bed with all of these people.
Right. That's just honest.
Good God. So nationwide rent control and more government control of the medical system, even though clearly over the majority of payments comes from right now the government. So you're going to like make a deal to where they have to, you're going to make them whole, right? Because they're your donors, they're your players. So, oh yeah, we brought down the price of this. How else are they getting some? Because they're your allies, your fellow travelers. You're not the one who's going to take them on.
Right.
You could by doing a lot of the stuff we just said. In fact, you know, the Republicans still suck on the issue of sound money.
Yes, they do.
Unless you're maybe Vivek Ramaswamy or Rand Paul or Mike Lee, maybe Thomas Massey. Very few up there actually seem serious about what actually causes inflation.
But I don't think they really know.
Because they're also on the take from all these big corporations.
You're willfully ignorant.
Goodness gracious. So there's, at least she's talking the issue.
Any specifics?
She's going to fight that price gouging and people increasing rents, and she's going to... Yeah, sure.
I got you.
I got a feeling you're going to point the finger at somebody else, whether it's somebody today or the past made us do it, and the past is unfair. And
well, I did hear the last...
So give us more of your money.
Unemployment numbers were caused by Donald Trump. I did hear that from her.
And we're the party that wants people to mind their own business as we're regulating everything under the sun except what goes up your butt because, that's your bedroom. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hi, guys. This is Bill.
Hey, Bill.
I've seen several videos that she has done, but I've never seen one on what she was just talking about. So my question would be, what lawsuit did she bring against anybody that helped consumers? I've seen one where she laughed and joked about smoking dope and putting people in prison for possession of dope. But that's not helping consumers. I've seen one where she joked and laughed about extenuating cases and making people's lives miserable just because she didn't like them or just because they were white and she could. That's not helping consumers. Who's she help? So I'm going to call BS on this. I think she's lying through her teeth.
I suspect that's also the case. And also, don't underestimate the power of a Democrat puppet to misunderstand what economics actually is. But I got to run, Bill. We got a bunch of calls rolling in, and I got to hit this break.
Y'all have a great day.
See you, Bill.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this? Line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Cranky.
Hey, Cranky.
I know you're running out of time. I'm just going to tell you, they say if you have an erection that lasts for more than 4 hours to call your doctor. Well, I call everybody I know, but that's another story. But when that does happen, they show you a picture of Hillary Clinton to fix that. If you were blind, what they do is they play a loop of Kamala Harris to fix that problem. It's over and over and over again, and it'll never ever work again.
No, I'm still. It's a good punchline, but I'm still stuck on the fact that you're calling up your friends and going, guys, it finally happened. I finally got priapism.
That's right. Well, hey, you right. Sooner or later,
yep.
You'll be in the same boat. but you're missing the point. Kamala Harris, make them listen to her, and it'll fix your problem.
There you go. Well, thank you for the insight. Appreciate it, Craig.
See you, Cranky.
Have a good one.
We got to hit this top of the hour break.
Let's do that.
We should have the Trump press conference.
All right.
That's happening soon at Mar-a-Lago.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. After recent volatility, stocks are climbing after a better-than-expected report on the job market. Ease some worries about the slowing economy. Eli Lilly helped lead the market higher after delivering better profit for the spring than expected. Austrian authorities say both suspects in a foil plot to attack Taylor Swift shows in Vienna appeared to be inspired by the Islamic State group and Al-Qaeda. Investigators have found bond-making materials at one of their homes. Officials say one of the two did confess to planning to, quote, kill as many people as possible outside the concert venue. 3 of the sold-out concerts were canceled. The Dow is ahead 620 points, the Nasdaq adding 446. This is SRN News.
Americans now have more credit card debt than at any time in history, owing a staggering $1.3 trillion collectively. What happens when most people can't pay their bills? Well, the U.S. economy is clearly moving into uncertain territory. That's why more Christians are turning to gold just for their peace of mind. I'm Lance Wallnow, Christian news analyst with a 30-year track record of predicting trends. The Bible tells us that gold is a time-tested store of value that can protect your God-given assets through almost anything, including America's historic debt bubble. And here's the good news. You can own gold through your 401k or IRA. My friends at Birch Gold Group can help you buy gold for your retirement account, tax-free and penalty-free. To learn more, text the word faith to 989898 for an info kit from Birch Gold that's entirely free, zero cost or obligation. Text that next step right now and take it. Text faith to the number 989898 for your free info kit. That's faith to 989898.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The contrast is amazing. Lots of rain across the southeastern U.S., but not here for the next few days. Our rain chance is just about nil, let's say through the end of the week and in through the weekend. Meanwhile, the humidity down just a notch, but the temperatures are up a bit. High today in the upper 90s, triple-digit heat indices. I think we'll be near 100 tomorrow. Low tonight in the middle 70s. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for the next few days. So no flooding concerns here. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Have you heard the news? Capital Tractor will soon be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. With lots of Kubota inventory, we're going to sell it instead of move it. Our big moving sale is a great time to get a great deal on a Kubota at Capital Tractor in Montgomery.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The cause of a Saturday morning fire at a Montgomery recycling plant remains under investigation, but a reopening date for the facility is now set. Repower South Montgomery will reopen on August 12th. Those services will remain limited for a brief period until fire damage repairs are completed. A helicopter crash at Fort Novosel Wednesday afternoon killed one person and injured another. An Apache helicopter crashed during routine flight training on the U.S. Army base about 90 miles south of Montgomery. The crash killed a flight instructor who was operating the helicopter. Fort Novosel was previously known as Fort Rucker. According to a recent study released by Smile Hub, Alabama is the most religious state in the nation. The study ranked states on metrics such as a state's religious interest and number of places to worship, religious education, careers, and organizations. Governor Kay Ivey reacted to the study Wednesday, saying it was a blessing to live in such a faith-rich state. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Jason with Wholesale Hunter. We've been advertising with Blue Water for a while now. We have great results with them. Appreciate everything they do with us.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks, helping local business.
Sharon at Whitworth Farm Equipment now has a qualified and certified mechanic. Gary Baker can do it all. They're here to keep you in the field. Your tractor should work as hard as you do and keep working. For all parts and service, come see Whitworth Farm Equipment for all tractor parts, implements, and trailers. And now selling pine straw rolls. Go to Whitworth Farm Equipment, 285-9977, or at 7458 Deatsville Highway. The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. For Montgomery's conversational radio show, it's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
fat broads and horse face.
Shut up, silly woman.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Come on, man.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. Perfect timing. Here's Donald Trump.
Just a statement before I talk about debates. I think that our country is right now in the most dangerous position it's ever been in from an economic standpoint, from a safety standpoint. Both gangs on the street and, frankly, gangs outside of our country in the form of other countries that are, frankly, very powerful. They're very powerful countries, and we don't know what we're doing. We have leadership that has no clue how to handle them or how to handle any other situation. We have a lot of bad things coming up. You could end up in a depression of the 1929 variety, which would be a devastating thing. Took many years, took decades to recover from it. And we're very close to that, and we're very close to a world war. In my opinion, we're very close to a world war. We have people that don't know how to handle it. They're not respected. All over the world, they're laughed at. And we can't have that. Most dangerous period of time I've ever seen for our country. With that being said, we have somebody that hasn't received one vote for president, and she's running, and that's fine with me. But we were given Joe Biden, and now we're given somebody else. And I think, frankly, I'd rather be running against the somebody else. But that was their choice. They decided to do that because Kamala's record is horrible. She's a radical left person at a level that nobody's seen. She picked a radical left man that is, he's got things done that he has positions that are just not, it's not even possible to believe that they exist. He's going for things that nobody's ever even heard of. Heavy into the transgender world, heavy into lots of different worlds having to do with safety. He doesn't want to have borders. He doesn't want to have walls. He doesn't want to have any form of safety for our country. He doesn't mind people coming in from prisons, and neither does she, I guess, because she's not, she couldn't care less. She's the border czar. By the way, she was the border czar 100%. And all of a sudden, for the last few weeks, she's not the border czar anymore, like nobody ever said it. And I just hope that the media becomes more diligent, more honest, frankly, because if they're not going to be honest, it's going to be much tougher to bring our country back. We have a very, very sick country right now. You saw the other day with the stock market crashing. That was just the beginning.
This is live,
just
folks,
the beginning.
by the way.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse, in my opinion. And fortunately, we've had some very good polls over the last fairly short period of time. Rasmussen came out today. We're substantially leading, and others came out today that we're leading, and in some cases substantially. I guess MSNBC came out, or CNBC came out also with a poll that was, has us leading, and leading fairly big in swing states. In some polls, I'm leading very big in swing states because they want safety. People want safety. They want security. They want respect all around the world for our country. They don't want this horrible culture that is developing, a culture of no common sense. It's really a culture of no common sense, and it's not what anyone wants. We want to have a safe country. We want to have a strong military. We want low interest rates, and we want to be able to have the American dream. We want to be able to have our youth be able to buy homes, housing, get good jobs. And we're really just at the opposite right now. It's so sad to see. But as a border czar, she's been the worst border czar in history, in the world history. I think the number is 20 million, but whether it's 15 or 20, it's numbers that nobody's ever heard before. 20 million people came over the border during the Biden-Harris administration. 20 million people, and it could be very much higher than that. Nobody really knows what the number is. Nobody knows. Nobody has a clue. And the gotaways, they call them the gotaways. The gotaways are at numbers. Somebody was quizzing me on it the other day. No, I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. They have no idea what those numbers are, but they're much higher than you would think. Just like far more people were killed in the Ukraine-Russia war than you ever report. Just like the October 7th would have never happened. Russia would have never hit Ukraine had the election result been called differently. It was a very bad call, but Russia would not have attacked Ukraine. October 7th in Israel would have never happened. You wouldn't have inflation. A lot of great things would have happened, but now you have millions and millions of dead people, and you have people dying financially because they can't buy bacon, they can't buy food, they can't buy groceries, they can't do anything. And they're living horribly in our country right now. With all of that being said, I think it's very important to have debates, and we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th. And we've agreed with ABC on September 25th. So we have those three dates, and those networks, they're very anxiously awaiting that date and those dates. So we have September 4th, September 10th, and September 25th. We have spoken to the heads of the network, and it's all been confirmed, other than some fairly minor details. Audience, some location, which city would we put it into, but all things that will be settled very easily, I think it'll be very easy. The other side has to agree to the terms. They may or may not agree. I don't know if they're going to agree. She hasn't done an interview. She can't do an interview. She's barely competent, and she can't do an interview. But I look forward to the debates because I think we have to set the record straight. Why is it that millions of people were allowed to come into our country from prisons, from jails, from mental institutions, insane asylums, even insane asylums? That's it's a mental institution on steroids. That's what it is. When you see the people that are coming into these are institutions that are being emptied out, not in South America, all over the world, including South America, all over the world. Prisons are being emptied out into our country because we have a president that's the worst president in the history of our country. We have a vice president who is the least admired, least respected, and the worst vice president in the history of our country, the most unpopular vice president. And because of political reasons or because of being politically correct, even though she never received a vote. Don't forget, she was the first one defeated, as I remember it, because I watched it very closely, but she was the first one. She never made it to Iowa, the first state. She never made it to Iowa. She was the first one that was defeated. She was the nastiest to him. She was nasty with calling him a racist and the school bus and all of the different things. She was very nasty to Biden. And shockingly, he appointed her, asked her to serve as vice president. Well, I don't know if he's happy about that decision right now. This was taken away. The presidency was taken away from Joe Biden. And I'm no Biden fan, but I'll tell you what, from a constitutional standpoint, from any standpoint you look at, they took the presidency away.
This is happening live.
People were
again,
saying
folks.
he lost after the debate. He couldn't win. Well, I don't know that that's true necessarily. But whether he could win or he couldn't win, he had the right to run. And they took it away. They said they're going to use the 25th Amendment. They're going to hit you hard. Either we can do it the nice. I know exactly because I know a lot of people on the other side, believe it or not. And they said, we'll do it the nice way or we'll do it the hard way. And he said, all right. So that, I mean, they've really taken, what they've done is pretty incredible. And now I'm running against somebody else, and we're leading. We're leading. So I'm not complaining. I'm saying it's for a country with a constitution that we cherish. We cherish this constitution. To have done it this way is pretty severe, pretty horrible. You would have thought they would have gone out to a vote. They would have had a primary system. They would have done something, but to just take it away from him like he was a child. And he's a very angry man right now, I can tell you that. He's not happy with Obama, and he's not happy with Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy. She is crazy, too. She's not happy with any of the people that told him that you've got to leave. He's very unhappy, very angry, and I think he also blames her. He's trying to put up a good face, but it's a very bad thing in terms of a country when you do that. I'm not a fan of his, as you probably have noticed, and he had a rough debate. But that doesn't mean that you just take it away like that. Or you go out to a vote, you do something. He had 14 million votes. She had no votes. She got no votes. And I think she's crashing. I think when people find out, and I think people are starting to find out what a bad job she did, what a bad job she did on the border. She's trying to say she had nothing to do with the border. She had everything. She was appointed to head the border. And then they said, Border Czar, oh, she loved that name. She loved that name. But she never went there. She went to a location once along the border, but that was a location that you would love to go and have dinner with your husband or whoever. That was a location that was not part of the problem. That was not really going to the border. So essentially, she never went to the border. And if you listen to Tom Holman, if you listen to the great border people, Brandon Judd from Border Patrol, if you listen to Paul, I mean, so many different people. I speak to them all the time. And I did when I was president. We had the best border in the history of our country. Now we have the worst border in the history of the world. Millions of people coming in. And our country cannot sustain it. Our country is going down because of this, because of incompetent people. So I just look forward to these debates. I think it's very important that we have them. I hope she agrees to them September 4th, September 10th, September 25th. And I think they'll be very revealing. I think they'll be very revealing. Do you have any questions, please?
Here we go. Again, this is happening live.
I haven't recalibrated strategy at all. It's the same policies, open borders, weak on crime. I think she's worse than Biden because he got forced into the position. She was there long before. She destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California as the AG. But as the DA, she destroyed San Francisco. A friend of mine, Bob Tisch, all know the Tisch family. He was in many cities with companies. He said the greatest city in the country is San Francisco. That was about 20 years ago. And he passed away a while ago, and he would be looking down and said, what happened? He thought it was the best city in the country. He had divisions there, lows. And he would be looking down in horror now when he sees she destroyed no cash bail, weak on crime. She's terrible. And yet they weaponized the system against me. They have me. I got so many lawyers. Now they want to delay cases. I won the big case in Florida. I won the big case. Nobody even wrote about it. The big case, the judge was a brilliant judge. And all they do is they play the ref with the judges. But this judge was a fair but brilliant judge. And as you probably heard, the big documents case, I won it. Now, Biden lost it because he didn't have presidential immunity. He didn't have the Presidential Records Act. He lost it. But the special, I call it prosecutor, special counsel, special prosecutor to me, he, appointed by him and appointed by Garland, he said the man's incompetent. He can't stand trial, but he can run for president. But we no longer have to worry about that because we have somebody that, in my opinion, is more incompetent. She couldn't pass her bar exam and lots of other things, and she should not be in a position because if she becomes president, our country is going to be a giant fail. It's going to fail. It's going to be a failure the likes of which this world has never seen. Yeah, please. No, how about you? You have to speak louder. Yeah.
Big part of your campaign strategy was appealing to black voters. How are you going to go after black voters? I wish these reporters.
Well, it changes around a little bit. I'm getting other voters. Perhaps, I was doing very well with black voters, and I still am. I seem to be doing very well with black males. This is according to polls, as you know. It's possible that I won't do as well with black women, but I do seem to be doing very well with other segments, extremely well with Hispanic. Jewish voters way up. White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up. Now, I don't know. All we're doing is giving you the stats that you have. It could be that I'll be affected somewhat with black females where we're doing pretty well. And I think ultimately they'll like me better because I'm going to give them security, safety, and jobs. I'm going to give them a good economy. We have a very bad economy right now. We could literally be on the throes of a depression, not recession, a depression. And they can't have that. They can't have that. So I think I'm going to do well with everybody, especially when the facts are right. Yeah, please, in the back. Well,
what do you
I don't
make
know.
of
I know
Harris not
Josh
picking Josh
He's a
Shapiro?
terrible guy, and he's not very popular with anybody. I think that this election maybe is better than Josh Shapiro would have been. But I think other than Josh Shapiro, I think she had some good choices. But Josh Shapiro is not one of them. He's caused a lot of damage with a lot of people. And I don't think he would have been better. I think he would have been maybe the equivalent, maybe not as good. But they had some people that they were looking at that were good, far superior to her. They actually had a story where they had everybody, including, they had like 10 people that she was looking at and her. And they said she was the worst of all. In other words, she was the worst out of the 10 people and her. I don't know how that's going to work out. We'd like to do 3 debates. We think we should do 3 debates. We think Fox and ABC. And we also have CBS is going to do the vice presidential debate. So CBS will do vice presidential. And I have to tell you, J.D. Vance has really stepped up. He's doing a fantastic job. Say it.
Worried about the size of Harris's crowd. Give me a break.
Listen, I had 107,000 people in New Jersey. You didn't report it. I'm so glad you asked. What did she have yesterday? 2,000 people? If I ever had 2,000 people, you'd say my campaign is finished. It's so dishonest, the press. And here's a great example. I had in Michigan recently 25,000 people, and 25,000 people we just couldn't get them in. We had in Harrisburg 25,000 people, and 20,000 people couldn't get in. We had so many. Nobody ever mentions that. When she gets 1,500 people, and I saw it yesterday on ABC, where they said, oh, the crowd was so big. I have 10 times, 20 times, 30 times the crowd size. And no, they never say the crowd was big. That's why I'm always saying turn around the cameras. I'm so glad you asked that. I think it's so terrible when you say, well, she has 1,500 people, 1,000 people, and they talk about, oh, the enthusiasm. Let me tell you, we have the enthusiasm. The Republican Party, and me as a candidate, but the Republican Party has the enthusiasm because people want to see crime stopped. They want to see a country that's respected. Think of it. If I were president, you wouldn't have Russia and Ukraine, where it never happened. 0 chance. You wouldn't have had October 7th of Israel. You wouldn't have the horrible withdrawal. And I don't mean the withdrawal, because the withdrawal was fine. I was ready to withdraw from Afghanistan, and we were going to do it with dignity and strength. And we were keeping our equipment. We weren't leaving $85 billion worth of equipment behind. And we wouldn't have had 13 great soldiers. I know the families of those soldiers well. We wouldn't have had these soldiers killed. And we wouldn't have had 45 soldiers obliterated. No legs, no arms, the face. None of that would have happened. And you wouldn't have had inflation. You wouldn't have had any inflation, because inflation was caused by their bad energy problems. Now they've gone back to the Trump thing because they need the votes. I don't know if you know, they're drilling now because they had to go back because gasoline was going up to $7, $8, $9 a barrel. So they said, we better do what Trump. But the day after the election, if they won, you're going to have fuel prices go through the roof. Everybody's going to be forced to buy an electric car, which they're not going to do because they don't want that. It's got a great market. It's got a market. It's really a sub-market. People want gasoline-propelled cars. They want hybrids. They want to have everything, and they want electric. But they want everybody to have an electric car. We don't have enough electricity. We couldn't make enough electricity for that. And you know what else? The weight of a car, the weight of a truck. They want all trucks to be electric. Little things that a lot of people don't talk about. The weight of a truck is 2.5 times heavier. You would have to rebuild every bridge in this country if you were going to do this ridiculous policy. So, but on crowd size, in history, for any country, nobody's had crowds like I have, and you know that. And when she gets 1,000 people and everybody starts jumping, you know that if I had 1,000 people would say, that's the end of his campaign. I have hundreds of thousands of people. In South Carolina, I had 88,000 people. In Alabama, I had 68,000 people. Nobody says about crowd size with me. But she has 1,000 people or 1,500 people, and they say, oh, the enthusiasm's back. No, no. The enthusiasm is with me and the Republican Party because they want to.
Well, apparently YouTube's mad at me. Not letting them run an ad, so we'll take a break from this. Thanks so much, YouTube. I really appreciate that. That's just so sweet of them. But when this runs out and it comes back, folks, we will go back to that. This is the press conference happening at Mar-a-Lago live right now. And Trump, it's interesting. He's off, no prompter, no notes. No. He's just talking off the top of the dome. I think that's part of the point, making some news saying they've agreed to 3 debates. They want 3 debates and a 4th with the vice presidential debate.
Right.
So we'll see where
like
all
every
this
network,
goes.
Every network gets one.
Right. Every network.
That's pretty fair to me.
Right. And let's get this done because it's a weird moment where it doesn't feel like the rules are set. The board is actually set. I keep saying that. Agreed. And I mean that in terms of events and, what's the next shoe to drop, but also in terms of how wonky just the way this is working out in terms of the candidates going up against one another. Let's go back to Trump. YouTube's allowing it.
I won South Carolina by a record. You don't win Alabama and South Carolina by records and lose Georgia. It doesn't happen. And the people of Georgia understand that. There was tremendous anxiety and problems in Georgia. A lot of people say, what happened? And we have to, all we want is honest elections. If we have honest elections in Georgia, and we have honest elections in Pennsylvania, we're going to win them by a lot.
Asking about peaceful transfer of power.
He actually said it 2 ways. First, he said it incorrectly, then he corrected himself. Do you agree with that, right? If you watch him, he said it 2 ways. No. I mean, he said it 2 ways because he doesn't really know what he's saying. Why didn't he bring it up at the debate? He had a chance for 90 minutes to bring it up at the debate. He could have talked about that at the debate, and he didn't do it. Everyone said, oh, he said this and he said that. He's just, they give him something to read off. He read it very badly because he actually said it the opposite. Then he had to go back and correct himself. He said the opposite. He should have brought this up at the debate. If he had a problem, of course there'll be a peaceful transfer. And there was last time, and there'll be a peaceful transfer. I just hope we're going to have honest elections. That's all, okay? What a stupid question this is.
Yeah, it's essentially, are you worried you're not?
A lot, and because I'm letting their convention go through, and I am campaigning a lot. I'm doing tremendous amounts of taping here. We have commercials that are at a level I don't think that anybody's ever done before. Plus, in certain cases, I see many of you in the room where I'm speaking to you on phones, I'm speaking to radio, I'm speaking to television.
The podcast.
Television's coming over here. Excuse me, what are we doing right now? She's not doing any news conference. You know why she's not doing it? Because she can't do a news conference. She doesn't know how to do a news conference. She's not smart enough to do a news conference. And I'm sorry, we need smart people to lead this country because our country's never been in this danger before, both economically and from an outside perspective. Russia doesn't respect us anymore. China doesn't respect us anymore. North Korea, Kim Jong-un, liked me a lot. He doesn't like this group. We are in great danger. We're in great danger of being in World War III. That could happen. No, after their convention, yeah. And I'm going out to certain places to help certain senators get elected. Not even for me. I'm trying to help when I go out to Wyoming or when I go out to Montana, or I'm going to different places to help people. And I don't have to go there because I'm leading those states, as you know, by 35, 40, 50 points. I'm leading by record numbers. I'm going because I want to help senators and congressmen get elected. Congressmen and women get elected. Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead. The upcoming what? Oh, yeah.
Interview with Elon Musk, I think she said.
Again, this is the Trump press conference
Elon
happening
Musk.
live.
So, yeah,
okay,
sure.
yeah.
So
yeah.
Elon called me. As you know, he endorsed me full-throated. Great endorsement. I respect Elon a lot. He respects me. And not easy for him to endorse, to be honest with you. You know, it takes courage to endorse people. Many people have courage and many people don't. He does have courage. And Elon endorsed me, and he asked me whether or not I'd do a show on Monday, and I think it's going to be Monday night. And I believe he's the host of the show. So it'll be very interesting. A lot of people are talking about it. I look forward to it. That'll be done on Monday night. Well, you have a lot of misinformation spread about China, and you have a lot of misinformation spread about a lot of different places. I think I'm going to get along great with China. President Xi of China and I were very good friends. We met right here, right in that, except we had a beautiful sofa there, as opposed to what we have right now. Right now we have you. But President Xi and I had a very good relationship until COVID. And I held him responsible for COVID. It broke up our relationship. But I think we're going to have a great relationship. And I think it's going to be mutually beneficial. But we cannot have it where China is taking advantage of the United States. And that's what they were doing, as you very well know. Yes, please. What's your question? No, I think the people that, if you look at January 6th, which a lot of people aren't talking about very much, I think those people were treated very harshly when you compare them to other things that took place in this country where a lot of people were killed. Nobody was killed on January 6th. But I think that the people of January 6th were treated very unfairly. And they were there to complain, not through me, they were there to complain about an election. And, you know, it's very interesting. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I said peacefully and patriotically, which nobody wants to say, but I said peacefully and patriotically. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken to, and you've seen, Maggie, I was at the mall, I was at the Washington Monument, I was at the whole thing. I had crowds, I don't know who's ever had it many times. The crowd I've ever for was that day. And I'll tell you, it's very hard to find a picture of that crowd. You see.
Well, I'm going to pause it there because I got to hit a break. But coming up, we'll bring you more of this. This is happening live at Mar-a-Lago. And I got a feeling he's not ending it anytime soon.
I agree with you on that.
I mean, how do you think he sounds?
He sounds fine, but I do worry that he's going to get caught up in the petty, but that is Trump.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's built in.
Right. But he sounds fine.
I think on some of these answers, thinking of it in terms of the clips people are going to share, some of these were spot on. And some of the questions are just weak, man. Like, are you worried your campaign's not like some of them are just not
I'm glad that he
good informational questions.
Glad he calls people out on BS questions like that.
But we do have to hit this break this part of the program brought to you by, well, Dylan Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dylan Rings are ready to, well, help you out across the board. And, of course, you can always stop by 119 Brown Springs Road, just off Atlanta Highway here in Montgomery. But you can always check out, preview what they have there at that showroom online. Just go to Facebook. Like, if you go today, I think the post starts with bling bling because, and dadgum, I'm almost blinded looking at this stuff. It's just a few of the new arrivals at Dylan Ring's custom jewelry studio. This is all stuff created by Josh, by the man himself, Josh Ryder. So micro huggy earrings. Those are beautiful.
It's kind of cool.
A sapphire cabochon? I don't know how to say that. But let's just say it's a sapphire pendant.
There you go.
It's beautiful with, of course, a diamond pendants around it. So it's a sapphire with diamonds all around that sapphire jewel. Absolutely beautiful. Also an emerald version of that, as well as stacked diamond bands. And if you want to see these for yourself, just search Dylan Rings on Facebook, DYLAN Rings on Facebook, or you can always go to DylanRings.com. Again, I would encourage you, though, if you want to see these brand new custom design pieces or see what they have in stock, maybe have your own idea for custom design, go by, talk to Josh.
Oh, yeah.
If you can dream it, that man can make it a reality. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Hi, everybody. The contrast is amazing. Lots of rain across the southeastern U.S., but not here for the next few days. Our rain chance is just about nil, let's say through the end of the week and in through the weekend. Meanwhile, the humidity down just a notch, but the temperatures are up a bit. High today in the upper 90s, triple-digit heat indices. I think we'll be near 100 tomorrow. Low tonight in the middle 70s. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for the next few days. So no flooding concerns here. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Well, welcome back, folks. Now let's jump back into this again. We're now going to be, a minute or two behind.
Okay.
But here is Trump at Mar-a-Lago giving a pretty long press conference here.
A quick primary system, which it would have to be. And then it all disappeared, and they just picked a person that was the first out. She was the first loser, okay? So we call her the first loser. She was the first loser when during the primary system. During the Democrat primary system, she was the first one to quit, and she quit. She had no votes, no support, and she was a bad debater, by the way, very bad debater. And that's not the thing I'm looking forward to, but she was a bad debater. She did obviously a bad job. She never made it to Iowa. Then for some reason, and I know he regrets it, you do too, he picked her, and she turned on him too. She was working with the people that wanted him out. But the fact that you can get no votes, lose in the primary system, in other words, you had 14 or 15 people, she was the first one out, and that you can then be picked to run for president, it seems to me actually unconstitutional. Perhaps it's not. Please. So I've run against Hillary. And
asking if Harris is more challenging than Hillary or Biden.
Other people. I would say that in terms of intelligence, Hillary was far superior. I would say that. Hillary was smart. She was her own worst enemy in many ways, but she was smart, very smart. Okay? If you ask me to compare them, please. Would you repeat that question?
I think it's about abortion.
You have to speak up. It's a hard room because it's very big. If you don't. Oh, this is worth $18 million. Oh, I see.
He's looking up.
Yeah. So
How
I
do
think
you
the
deal with the
abortion
state
issue
abortion
has been
issue?
very much tempered down, and I've answered, I think, very well in the debate, and it seems to be much less of an issue, especially for those where they have the exceptions, as you know. And I think it's when I look for 52 years, they wanted to bring abortion back to the states. They wanted to get rid of Roe v. Wade, and that's Democrats, Republicans, and independents, and everybody. Liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it back in the states, and I did that. Now the states are voting, and frankly, some of the votes are much more, if you could say, liberal than you would think. Ohio turned out to be, they had a big vote, and it turned out to be a much more liberal standing than people would have thought. Kansas, the same thing, and then you have Texas, and you have other places where it may be different. But the issue has been brought back to the states now, and like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe, I believe strongly. I think that that's a very important thing. I think when you have to follow your heart. But when you don't believe in the exceptions, I think it's much tougher. It's a much tougher issue. But about 82% of Republicans do believe in exceptions. I think and a lot of them are changing their mind and coming even further. I think that abortion has become much less of an issue. It's a very small, I think it's actually going to be a very small issue. What I've done is I've done what every Democrat and every Republican wanted to have done, and we brought that issue back to the states. And now the states are voting on it. And frankly, some of the votes are a lot different than people would have thought. But it's the vote of the people is taking care of it. And, when you think about the Democrats are really the radical ones on this because they're allowed to do abortion on the 8th and 9th month, and even after birth. If you look at your new governor from Minnesota, he's like the governor previous, the former governor. I don't want to get him mixed up because Glenn is doing a good job, and he's leading our whole campaign in Virginia, Glenn Youngkin. But previous to Glenn, the governor, he said the baby will be born, we will put the baby aside, and we will decide with the mother what we're going to do. In other words, whether or not we're going to kill the baby. The Minnesota gentleman, this guy agrees with that. He is the most liberal. Look, between her and him, there's never been anything like this. There's never been a combination. So I'll use the word progressive. They want to go progressive. They don't like the word liberal. I like liberal better. I think it's more appropriate because nobody knows what progressive means. But they now like to use the word progressive. But there's certainly never been anybody so liberal like these two, or even close. I think the abortion issue has been taken down many notches. I don't think it's a big factor anymore, really. And when people hear what I said in the debate, and I think I said it very well during the debate, we brought it back to the states. Everybody wanted it in the states. And very importantly, and you think about this, assuming you have exceptions. If you don't have exceptions, it's a more difficult thing. At the same time, there are people that strongly feel that way, and you have to follow your heart, and you should follow your heart. But that issue is very much subdued. Yeah, thank you. They have. The FBI came to see me about the shooter. I think they've done a very good job, and I think they did a very good job with respect to this other lunatic that they have in custody. Please.
Oh, they're asking about Willie Brown?
Well, I know Willie Brown very well. In fact, I went down in a helicopter with him. We thought maybe this is the end. We were in a helicopter.
Interesting.
Going to a certain location together. And there was an emergency landing. This was not a pleasant landing. And Willie was, he was a little concerned. So I know him pretty well. I mean, I haven't seen him in years. But he told me terrible things about her. But this is what you're telling me anyway, I guess. But he had a big part in what happened with Kamala. But he I don't know, maybe he's changed his tune, but he was not a fan of hers very much at that point. Yeah, I do. Go ahead. On what?
Are you planning to vote on Florida's abortion referendum?
Well, I'm going to announce that. I'm going to actually have a press conference on that at some point in the near future, so I don't want to tell you now. But Florida does have a vote coming up on that, and I think probably the vote will go in a little more liberal way than people thought. But I'll be announcing that at the appropriate time. Please.
Okay, tax cuts and
Oh,
the
we
tax
get
code favoring
tremendous
parents.
for child care and all of that. No, our tax
Andy Brett been working on
cuts, which are the biggest in history, our tax cuts are coming due, as you know, very soon. And if the Democrats don't renew them or make it impossible to renew because it's pretty close in terms of vote, if they don't renew them, it's the equivalent of having a 4 times tax increase from what you have right now, and it'll destroy the economy. I think they're under tremendous pressure to do it. I've never seen, all my life I grow up and I watch politics, and I used to be on the other side of politics first, and then I run for office. But in all the years of studying politics, I've never seen people get elected by saying, we're going to give you a tax increase. These guys get up, think of it. We're going to give you no security. We're going to give you a weak military. We're going to give you no walls, no borders, no anything. All these things they're doing. I mean, the transgender became such a big thing. But they do all of these things, but they always say, we're going to give you a tax increase. I never heard anybody campaign on a tax increase. A politician has always said, I will cut taxes. I'll give you one example, Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. I am going to leave Social Security. I'm not raising the years. I'm not raising the age. I will be saving Social Security, and I'm going to work it out that there's no tax on Social Security for seniors. I'm also doing no tax on tips. No tax on tips. So waiters, waitresses, caddies, people that drive cars, people that get tips who have been harassed by this government, we're going to have no tax on tips. That's a big thing. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Sure. Because other people have done far bigger things than Steve Bannon. Sure,
Yeah.
politically motivated. I think it's a horrible thing they did. Look, they've weaponized government against me. Look at the Florida case. It was a totally weaponized case. All of these cases, by the way, the New York cases are totally controlled out of the Department of Justice. They sent their top person to the various places. They went to the AG's office, got that one going. Then he went to the DA's office, got that one going, ran through it. No, this is all politics, and it's a disgrace. Never happened in this country. It's very common that it happens, but not in our country. It happens in banana republics and third world countries, and that's what we're becoming. We have no borders. We have bad voting regulations. Anytime you have mail-in ballots, you're going to have problems. France learned that lesson. France had all mail-in voting, and they went back to paper ballots, voter identification, voter ID. They went back to a normal system, one-day voting. They don't want to be around, voting for 64 days. And look, the election, I keep talking about November 5th, but the election really starts on September 6th. That's when it starts because it's early voting. We should have one-day voting. We should have paper ballots. We should have voter ID, and we should have proof of citizenship. Please. No.
We're Tire Rack. We test tires to provide you with truth, transparency, and unbiased.
I'm sitting here wondering at this point now, when is Kamala Harris going to do this? Because this has been nearly an hour, answering all sorts of questions.
She's 18 days from doing one since the last one, I think.
No, she hasn't done a press conference or an interview since they've made her the candidate.
18 days.
Since the ruling class picked a new puppet.
So, what do you think they're doing? Are we cramming? I know we're not just sitting on our hands. I know there's something going on behind the scenes. But are they?
No, I think they want to do. We talked about it last week. They want to do what Biden did in 2020, the basement campaign.
That's what I was worried about.
So you have very controlled media.
Yeah.
You have very scripted moments. You have a lot of glitz and glam, a lot of the over-the-top stuff. So you can read on the prompter, have the big rally. You could have the convention that is sure to be star-studded. Watch out for like Taylor Swift jumping in on this.
Yeah.
I don't think they want her sitting down, even in a straight-up tough interview. And it doesn't have to be with Sean Hannity. I wouldn't recommend that. But say Lester Holt at NBC News. How's Kamala going to do just talking to Lester Holt? Because the last time she talked to him, it didn't go very well. That was where all those clips about the border came.
They were kind of allies, to be very honest.
Right. So
you're right.
We'll see. We'll see when this happens. I think we've got Trump back. Before we get to Trump, this part of the program brought to you by, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Well, they're ready to help you, Madeline and Kim, whether you're looking to buy a home or refinance a home. And especially if you're a veteran, they're up on the latest with the VA home loan programs. They're certified, literally certified.
Yeah.
An amazing turnaround time for VA home loans as well as just everyday mortgages that you're working on. Amazing turnaround times. They really can help you out if you're stuck under a mountain of credit card debt or maybe just looking to rearrange your finances to invest. And, of course, they can walk you through the home buying process from pre-approval all the way to closing day. So check them out today. That number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Let's go back to Trump. Again, this is live.
Deal. I had a deal to buy it at $22 a barrel. And now it's going to be close to 100 pretty soon, my opinion. And the Democrats didn't want to do that, but we bought a lot anyway. And we had it pretty good. And what they've done to the national reserves, the strategic national reserves, is, as you know very well, because you cover it, but what they've done is incredible. They've just, for the sake of getting some votes, for the sake of having gasoline, that's meant for wars. It's meant for tragedy. It's not meant to keep a gasoline price down so that somebody can vote for Biden, or in this case, Kamala, who, by the way, is worse than Biden. And she's actually not as smart.
I think you said that before.
Okay? She's actually not as smart. That's hard to believe, isn't it? Yeah, please. Okay. Sure, you could do things that would supplement, absolutely, and those things are pretty open and humane. But you have to be able to have a vote, and all I want to do is give everybody a vote, and the votes are taking place right now as we speak. Yeah, but it's there are many things on a humane basis that you can do outside of that, but you also have to give a vote, and the people are going to have to decide. Okay, yes, please. Yeah. On what? No, I think she's actually not as smart as he is. I don't think he's very smart either, by the way. I'm not a big fan of his brain, but I think that she's actually not as smart as he is. Well, she's a woman. She represents certain groups of people, but I will say this. When people find out about her, I think she'll be much less. And I see it right now. I see her going way down in the polls now. Now that people are finding out that she destroyed San Francisco, she destroyed the state of California along with Governor Gavin Newsom. He's been a terrible governor, terrible. But they did it together. And she was early. I mean, she was the first of the prosecutors, really. Now you see Philadelphia, you see Los Angeles, you see New York, you see various people that are very bad. But she was the first of the bad prosecutors. She was early. Who?
Will your White House have press briefing?
Repeat that, please? No, you. Would you repeat what she said? You have to speak up. This room is very louder. Do you hear her? A daily press briefing? Why would I do that? I would give you all the press briefings you want. Look what I'm doing here. But why would I do a daily press? You'd get tired of me very fast. No, but I will give you total access, and you'll have a lot of press briefings, and you'll have from me. Now, are you talking about from me or from a press secretary? Well, yeah, probably they'll do something. If it's not daily, it's going to be a lot. You'll have more than you want. Yeah, please. I don't think it's appropriate for me to talk about it. I think it's a tragic story. You want to know the truth?
Well, you pardoned Hunter. Interesting question.
Too. You know, with Hillary Clinton, I could have done things to her that would have made your head spin. I thought it was a very bad thing. Take the wife of a president of the United States and put her in jail. And then I see the way they treat me. That's the way it goes. But I was very protective of her. Nobody would understand that, but I was. I think my people understand it. They used to say, lock her up, and I'd say, just relax, please. We won the election. I think it would be I think it would have been horrible for our country and we had her between the hammering of all of the files. And don't forget, she got a subpoena from the United States Congress. And then after getting the subpoena, she destroyed everything that she was supposed to get. I thought it was so bad to take her and put her in jail, the wife of a president of the United States, and then when it's my turn, nobody thinks that way. I thought it was a very terrible thing. And she did a lot of very bad things. I'll tell you what, she was pretty evil. But in terms of the country and in terms of unifying the country, bringing it back, to have taken her and to have put her in jail, and I think you know the things as well as I do. There were some pretty bad acts that she did. I think it would have been very bad for our country. And a lot of my people, a lot of the MAGA, as they call them, but the base. And I think the base is 75% of the country, far beyond the Republican Party, because we're a party of common sense, and I'm a person of common sense. I want to have low taxes. I want to have strong borders. I want to have a strong military so that China and Russia, look, they've allowed China and Russia to do the impossible combined. They're natural enemies. They always have been, because China needs more land and Russia has it. They've always been natural enemies, and because of Obama, it started with him, and then Biden, because he didn't know what the hell he was doing, they've now become one force. And then now they're adding Iran to it, and they're adding North Korea to it.
Correct.
Pretty powerful force. This is something that is unthinkable that they allowed to happen.
Well, I need to hit our top of the hour break here and stop that for the moment, for the time being. But y'all stay tuned. After the top of the hour break, if he's continuing to go, we're going to keep on going with it. Makes it an easy day for me.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Searchers have found a body in a home destroyed by a tornado in North Carolina that was spawned by Tropical Storm Debbie. The death toll now up to 7 from the storm that first made landfall in Florida on Monday and made second landfall early today in South Carolina. California's largest wildfire so far this year continues to chew through timber in very hot and dry weather. The Park Fire scorching more than 660 square miles since erupting July 24th near the Sacramento Valley city of Chico and burning northward up the western flank of the Sierra Nevada. Containment remains at 34% on Thursday. So far, no fatalities have been reported. Stocks are sharply higher. The Dow is up over 600 points. This is SRN News.
Americans now have more credit card debt than at any time in history, owing a staggering $1.3 trillion collectively. What happens when most people can't pay their bills? Well, the U.S. economy is clearly moving into uncertain territory. That's why more Christians are turning to gold just for their peace of mind. I'm Lance Wallnow, Christian news analyst with a 30-year track record of predicting trends. The Bible tells us that gold is a time-tested store of value that can protect your God-given assets through almost anything, including America's historic debt bubble. And here's the good news. You can own gold through your 401k or IRA. My friends at Birch Gold Group can help you buy gold for your retirement account, tax-free and penalty-free. To learn more, text the word FAITH to 989898 for an info kit from Birch Gold that's entirely free, zero cost or obligation. Text that next step right now and take it. Text FAITH to the number 989898 for your free info kit. That's FAITH to 989898.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The contrast is amazing. Lots of rain across the southeastern U.S., but not here for the next few days. Our rain chance is just about nil, let's say through the end of the week and in through the weekend. Meanwhile, the humidity down just a notch, but the temperatures are up a bit. High today in the upper 90s, triple-digit heat indices. I think we'll be near 100 tomorrow. Low tonight in the middle 70s. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for the next few days. So no flooding concerns here. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union, the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
1819 News.
Officials at Fort Novacel confirmed that a flight instructor for their Apache helicopters was killed in a crash on Wednesday. Another person on board was injured. The cause of the crash has not been fully identified. Congressman Barry Moore and both of Alabama's U.S. Senators Tommy Tuberville and Katie Britt have expressed their condolences to the family of that instructor pilot and say that they are praying for a swift recovery of the injured student pilot. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
An illegal alien is facing charges in Montgomery for shooting and injuring someone with a handgun. Alberto Martinez Fidel is being held in the Montgomery County Detention Facility on a $30,000 bond. Martinez Fidel has been confirmed by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency to be here in the U.S. illegally. Breitbart News has confirmed from the ICE agency that Martinez Fidel is a Mexican national. The Alabama Ethics Commission has found that Decatur Mayor Tab Bowling committed a minor violation of the Alabama Ethics Act. The commission made the ruling in response to a filed complaint against the mayor. The commission is recommending that the violation be handled administratively. Mayor Bowling told 1819 News that the complaint was filed against him for using a public facility that was closed to the public. Bowling says he will comply with the commission's decision. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your updated market report. Through 7 months of 2024, over 2,900 homes have sold and closed in the River region. The average price was $260,000, and 60% of these homes sold in 60 days or less. Since mortgage rates have dropped over a point, buyers can save thousands of dollars in payments of what it would have been just 8 weeks ago. The supply of homes has increased, giving buyers more choices than they've had all year. To identify your next home, focus on what's important to you as features that will make the move worthwhile. By getting pre-approved with a local lender, hiring the best home inspector, and most importantly, hiring an experienced buyer agent will make it all go smoothly. For a list of 17 essential buyer agent services and a list of the best lenders and local inspectors, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and we go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Montgomery Men's Health exists for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At Montgomery Men's Health, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for years. Our friendly, discreet team of medical providers will take the time to listen. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Book your appointment now.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back, folks. We're just going to go right back to Trump Live. It's still going. Missed a few questions, but that's fine. This is what turned out to be a pretty long press conference. As he is fielding questions from all over the room, it's clear there's no clear order to it, just picking people out at random.
He said he's a fast healer.
Fast healer on the assassination, yeah.
That cracked me up.
And, I mean, there's a lot of different types of questions, too. This is not the usual combated press conference.
Right.
They're asking some substantive things, some side issues that aren't big campaign
Odd
things.
questions. But, yeah.
Actually, I think this is, if you like this sort of thing, this is fine. We need to see more of this from leaders across the board. So here is Trump still going. This is live.
This is going to work with us because they know everything about the people. They know their names. They know everything about them. They know their middle name. They know their numbers. And as you know, the other side is trying. You know, look, for years I wondered, why are they allowing these people to come in at levels like this? It was incredible. And I said two reasons. They're either really stupid, and I don't believe they're stupid, because anybody that can cheat on elections like they cheat is not stupid, or in the alternative, they have bad motives or they hate our country. And I used to think they hate our country. But lately I've seen where they're trying to sign these people up to vote. And they have to stop. They cannot let illegal immigrants vote in this upcoming election. All right, one more question. Go ahead, one more. Make it a good one, please. Right. We have so many ways of making money in this country. We're not going to affect our Social Security. We're not changing it. And I proved that over 4 years. And we're going to do it. It's very unfair to people. They spend their life and they're great citizens and they pay in. We're not going to charge tax to Social Security, the seniors. We're not going to do it. We're not going to charge.
Amen
And also
is
tax.
right.
I say the two things. We're going to have no tax on seniors, Social Security, and we're going to have no tax on tips. Very simple. And we are a country that has so many different ways to make money. We have under our feet more liquid gold, I call it oil and gas, than any country in the world, much more than Saudi Arabia, much more than Russia. We have so many different ways we can make money. We're not going to hurt our seniors with Social Security, and we're not going to charge them tax. Okay? We should not have sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities is a way of protecting criminals, and we should not have sanctuary cities. And if you go to California, and I know it well, I have property out there, great property. If you go to California and you ask the people of California, do they like the idea of sanctuary cities? They don't like it. They're tired of it. They're tired of crime. They're tired of what's happened to our country. Our country's become a crime-ridden mess, and we're going to stop it on November 5th. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Man, that went on a while there.
Yeah, he did.
That gum. I don't know. That scene it's like the Trump we know.
Yes.
Less fireworks than one might have suspected. I don't think the press was too feisty for whatever reason.
But I like the idea of the no tax on Social Security and on tips. It's an instant, literally instant cost of living raise to people that need it the most.
Yeah, and so there are a lot of questions about out the gate of, is your campaign waffling? You haven't done an event? And
that's strange.
That's the one where he goes, what a stupid question.
I agree, because what a dumb question.
Yeah, because if you look at, and honestly, you can't really trust polling right now, whether it's showing Trump up or Kamala up, like, it's too early. Mm-hmm. Check back in late September, and even then, keep in mind, the polls condition the polls. They're not exactly giving you the most accurate polling data. They keep that to themselves.
Of course.
So, and it's more of an art than a science. But if you do look at the polls that are existing right now, it's a toss-up. He's saying, oh, we're up. Kamala and team are saying, oh, we're up. This is how this game played. But I think it really is, at this point, a toss-up. If the energy's actually there, like the Democrats say, oh, we're energized behind her, I think, again, this thing is anybody's game, and we shall see.
I think you should do what he did today, more of that, and just keep pushing substance. Keep forcing that conversation to be held by the other side.
Let's go to line 1. Dr. Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
I've enjoyed listening to this. You know, there's one thing that the strategy of basement Biden and now keeping Kamala in the closet type thing, just letting the media mold and shape things, it creates a vacuum of information. And, you know, so there's a thirst that goes on with the media and with people to know how, you know, some information here. And so they're not getting it from the Harris campaign or the Democrats. So what does the stable genius do? He goes out there and takes advantage of the situation, which is an awesome move. It truly is, because it's taking the oxygen out of the room. They really can't really campaign well while, for instance, the press conference or the fallout thereof is going on. And it puts pressure on them, on the Harris campaign, to get out and, hey, y'all do a press conference now.
Right.
Which they don't want to do.
Right.
Because otherwise we'll be having this, you know, pot-infused statements of tomorrow and today and word salad this.
I'd see. I like it. Did you hear the Michael Malice breakdown? That she has all 3 phases of wine mom down.
Yeah, I did hear that.
So she has like the, oh my God, there's a rabbit on the cereal box, like the joyful, like, and then she has the, I'm at work and I need to say something that seems serious. Well, space is all around us and space is everybody. And then she has the really stern moments where it's like, I'm going to tell you something real seriously so I can go up and go to bed because I don't want to reveal how plastered I am.
Right. Yeah, right. It's down pat, you know. That is that. Well, I mean, she has dropped the hysterical laugh. Oh my God!
Right.
Oh my God! I mean, that's enough to drive anybody crazy. So, yeah, she dropped that off, and then, you know, I mean, just get her out there talking. The pressure now is on her, more and more so now, ever increasingly. So, you know, this is a stable genius move, and I'm liking it. And it wasn't confrontive, you know. I mean, he stood there and answered questions, even the stupid ones, you know. So, and you got to love it. And I did catch the Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
I love the names he gives, but the newest one I got he gave was the George Stephanopoulos. He's called him George Stupilodicus. that's the way. Like, if we were having some conversation, we would talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is how the average American would talk, type thing. You know?
Right.
And so you gotta love it. I don't think the polls are right now. You know, it's
They're all over
they're
the
big.
place. So
They are, and of course, don't forget that, you know, when Kamala decided to run for president the last time, she just went down on all the polls. So I expect anything to happen this time.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Pick that up.
Well, and by the way, what about that reporter? What the cojones on the reporter that asked about Willie Brown? And I actually thought Trump handled that pretty well, not getting into the details.
I enjoyed the story.
Yeah, like, well, instead of him getting into like all the sex stuff, he just goes, well, Willie told me a lot of things. We were in a helicopter together that almost crashed. It's like, what?
That was a out of left field piece of bait thrown out there. I think.
Yes.
You know, and he didn't take it. So just remember, folks, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. And it looks like the second mouse got the cheese on this day. Kudos to President Trump and team. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, Papa B.
See you, Papa B.
And also him announcing that they want to do 3 debates.
Yes.
One with Fox, one with NBC, one with ABC, and then CBS doing the vice presidential debate. And speaking of the vice presidential, folks, did you see yesterday J.D. Vance walked over with his posse? Like they're both on the same tarmac
there? Yeah.
He walked over to Air Force 2 and started talking to Kamala's press pool.
Yeah.
So here, I think we've got this.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. See him walking over.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks taking a shot, like, you know, different shots and angles of like, man, look at the posse walking over. JD approaching the press pool.
I figured I'd come by and one, just get a good look at the plane, because hopefully it's going to be my plane in a few months. But I also thought you guys might get lonely because the vice president doesn't answer questions from reporters and hasn't for 17 days. Have they give you guys an explanation for why she won't take questions from reporters? No?
Anyone?
Okay, great. Well, I hope that you changes your mind because it'd be good for the American people, and I think it'd be good for you all if she actually ran a real campaign instead of one from a basement with a teleprompter. So have a good one, guys. See ya. What would you like to hear from her? I'd love her to answer some questions. I'd love her to just answer what she wants to do and also explain why every single position she has changed. She pretends to be a prosecutor, yet she pretends to be a tough-on-crime prosecutor, and yet here she is wanting to defund the police. She's the border czar, yet she's opened up the American southern border.
So JD Vance is walking over, making a little thing, and I wanted to check out what the plane I'll be using here in a little while. The back and forth, the response by the activist left is what a stalker.
Oh, a stalker.
Like, are we gonna get crazy unhinged woman energy this whole time from the Harris campaign? Because I'm not even saying it's Kamala; it's staffers putting this sort of stuff out. Yeah, it's like.
But look at their responses to a lot of things. It's juvenile to say the least.
Yeah, just like going after Vance, AOC did because he was sitting with his legs open on that Nelk Boys podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, how men sit?
He's mansplaining. So, yeah, how men sit.
Well, and I think the response to that is, well, if your boyfriend had a pair, you might understand that men sit that way. Yeah, it's just, and I think they kind of want the juvenile. I mean, don't we all? That's sort of what brings Americans together, us being full of crap in a juvenile way to decide our election.
But their juvenile's not even funny. It's
funny to them.
It's sad because it's like, that's the best you got.
See, but that's how they feel about us.
But that's the best you got. I mean, that's it.
Weight room, folks.
Right.
You know, and Trump just like talked about we can't let illegal immigrants vote in this election.
Correct.
Well, this is from the Federalist, written up by Sean Fleetwood. If Democrats want proof foreigners are registering to vote, Virginia just found 6,300 examples.
Mm-hmm.
As part of their embarrassing smear campaign against Republicans worried about the integrity of America's elections, legacy media have twisted themselves into pretzels trying to convince the country that foreign nationals interfering in the U.S. electoral system is a non-existent problem. It's just not happening. Well, in an executive order directing state agencies to undertake election security efforts ahead of the November election, hey, Kay Ivey, do the same thing.
I wish you
Probably
would.
not that bad here, but do it anyway.
I wish you would. Lead by example.
I'm sure Wes Allen would love for you to do something like this.
Yep.
But Glenn Youngkin revealed on Wednesday that the Commonwealth's Department of Elections has removed more than 6,300 non-citizens from its voter rolls since his administration took place. Remember, some of these battleground states were decided by a little around that amount.
Yep.
A few thousand. Wow. So all data collected by the DMV that identifies non-citizens is shared with their election Department of Elections, which uses it to scrub existing voter rolls and remove non-citizens who may have purposely or accidentally registered to vote. Folks also doing sort of guerrilla-style reporting, going straight to apartment complexes, acting like they're Spanish-speaking and they're acting like we're trying to register folks to vote. And you'd be amazed at how many folks who are not there. They say, I'm registered to vote, and then they ask, are you a legal citizen? And they say, no.
No. I did that when I was getting my welfare. I did that when there are programs out there just to get them on the voter roll.
Yeah. And this is what we mean by the table isn't set in regards of where will events take us in the world. Still, who knows? Any day now, with some apparent strike by Iran against Israel, there's stuff coming out that the U.S. has now threatened Iran, don't you do it. A lot of mixed signals coming out there, but there is a recording out there, honestly, I haven't listened to yet. Folks are reporting that it reveals the Biden-Harris team, how they target and manipulate voters and information. A recent surface recording of a Zoom call between Biden-Harris team from 2020 reveals disconcerting evidence of the team's intentional targeting and manipulation of voters and relentless bullying of media outlets to control information. So this is from the 2020 campaign. You think these methods went away?
No. Were they successful in 2020?
As Red State previously reported, the Missouri v. Biden, now styled Murphy v. Missouri, case is one of the most important free speech cases of recent years. Originally, the Fifth Circuit had ruled in favor of the Missouri Attorney General, and Louisiana Attorney General entered an injunction against officials accused of censorship. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court later said the plaintiffs did not have proper standing. Genius ruling. But one of the key people in this controversy was Biden's director for digital strategy, Rob Flaherty.
Mm-hmm.
As Red State's Susie Moore reported, citing a pleading filed in the case, among many other things, Mr. Flaherty directly participated in the oral meeting where he and Andrew Slavitt pressured Twitter to deplatform Alex Berenson, critical information that the government's discovery did not reveal. Mr. Flaherty emailed Nick Clegg, a senior Facebook executive, with a link to a Washington Post story about misinformation on Facebook, stating not even sure what to say at this point. Mr. Flaherty repeatedly participated in oral meetings with social media platforms about so-called COVID misinformation, as documents filed by plaintiffs repeatedly said. You also have now other reporting coming out that when you see all this stuff online with the Harris campaign, I'm willing to believe there's a lot of folks who just organically want to see Harris. They don't like Trump. Fair.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
But there's a very clear strategy of we're going to go to influencers in non-political spaces and we're going to pay them to make pro-Harris, anti-Trump content.
Oh.
Take your pick, like $3,500 a video sort of stuff. The people that brought this out, one was a gamer who he started going, no effing politicians on my stream. Like he went off on it.
Yeah.
Like, how dare y'all even ask me? Like, and he's not a conservative guy. He's probably, I bet if you push him, the guy's more on the left, but he's like, I'm not doing politics on here.
Don't want to do with it. Yeah.
Another guy was a gay OnlyFans model. And I think the line he said was, I'll sell my booty, but I'm not selling myself out to a politician.
Wow. That's an interesting line to draw.
I'm a little like you, but I'm also like, well, I mean, he knows
his boundaries.
Some integrity there.
Camera involved there.
No, so there's clearly an effort to like just take every aspect, pay people off.
Yeah.
This is politics. I'm not saying it's illegal, but it suggests that maybe, just maybe, they don't have the energy isn't organic. The energy is much more a brainwashing operation. Not saying the Republicans don't have their own brainwashing operation. That's what Fox News is. So we'll see where this goes, but I think it's anybody's game at this point. And we'll see how J.D. Vance and Tim Walz stack up against each other. Even NBC's Steve Kornacki, you know that nerd?
Yes, unfortunately.
You don't like nerds? What's your problem, man?
Too many nerds.
Too many
nerds.
Right. So he's even saying, I don't see this Walz guy having a lot of rural support. When you look at his past elections, he does well, like a lot of Democrats do well, in the big cities. Where's his rural support? He's from a rural town, but so we'll see how this plays out.
Interesting.
Now seeing reports the Houthi rebels strike a container ship in the Gulf of Aden. You're also seeing some Houthi missiles were shot down, I believe, by U.S. naval ships. There are now threats being made. Again, the headline is threats that we're going to really hurt you, Iran, if you actually retaliate. I think this is from the Wall Street Journal. The U.S. warned Iran that its government and economy could suffer a devastating blow if it were to mount a major attack against Israel.
Yep.
Well, that's a little ominous. Let's see what happens. And then now confirming, ABC News confirmed that both the Harris and Trump campaigns have agreed to a televised primetime debate on September the 10th.
Cool. Is that going to be our first one, I guess?
I don't know. The September 10th, they've agreed. It doesn't look like they've agreed to the Fox News one, but who knows?
I got a feel. I wish all of them would be mandatory. You do everybody, but I got a feeling that'll be the last holdout.
Yeah. So
I don't know why though.
The game is starting to be more honed in, but again, I don't think the table is still set. Maybe I'm twice bitten, once shy. I don't know. Could be. Just I got a feeling, a gut feeling right there. Trust the bowels during election time, folks. Don't trust your mind.
That's good advice, actually, Joey.
Well, and if you're a certain age, don't even trust your bowels.
Don't. You'll learn that lesson early on one time.
This is part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And there at Pest Pro, Ashley and that great team are ready to help you with any and all of your pest control services.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, what sort of like individual jobs? Like you might be like, oh, the house is already sprayed, kind of how they do it. But I'm noticing like all these fire
ants. Or at the lake house down at the boathouse, we had a run of spiders.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you think one or two, no big deal. But we had a run of spiders.
What kind?
I know one was a wolf spider because they're a really big one. That's the one that kind of gave me the freaks.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of other smaller ones. And so they came down, they gave us a good spray. And since then, I've had a couple, but not very many at all. But before, I mean, it looked like something out of The Shining. It really did. Like you would move a boat cushion and there would just be spiders.
So it could be spiders. It could be you go down to the boat deck or the shed and there's a huge wasp
nest waiting on you. Especially waiting on you, Joey.
You know how I feel. I am at war. That's why I think my negative energy summoned one of them into this studio one day. I'm still anxious. How did it get in here? I want to know.
I knew where I could go buy some.
Don't you dare. Of course, they can also do things like treat the yard for mosquitoes, termites, or if you are looking for an everyday pest control company that has your back, that's Pest Pro Services. So call them up today at 265-9990. That's 265-9990, or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. What do you want to know? Call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and her team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. New body cam video from Trump assassination.
They released it this morning, but I haven't got to watch it yet.
And as we said earlier in the program, the fact that we still do not know.
A lot of unknowns there, Joey.
Say the motivation of the shooter.
A lot of unknowns.
Is troubling, to say the least. Is that a new reporter on Fox?
They're trying her out.
She's got the look.
She's got good hair. But I still got questions. When it comes to our shooter, we found a cell phone in the transmitter. I heard that one time. Never heard anything else about the transmitter.
And the bombs that were pretty sophisticated.
Right. And supposedly they found some in his house, and then also, no, we didn't find anything in his house. It'd been swept clean
Right.
medically. Lots of questions.
I suspect, like many other big issues, we will just never officially know, right?
I agree, but I do think now if Trump gets back in, assuming he gets back in, I think he will release the Kennedy docs that he did not release before. I think this
Amen.
taught him a little bit of a lesson. I hope, anyway.
Though he's been very praiseworthy. The FBI is great. Secret Service is great.
He's got to, man. Ain't like he can dog him out.
I
Not
know.
right now. You know?
They got 6 ways from Sunday to come after you.
Right. They showed one.
Let's hit a quick break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. This hot, dry August weather pattern will continue for a few more days. We're bone dry again this evening. Overnight low temperature down to about 76. Tomorrow's high in the upper 90s again, and we'll do that again on Saturday. And I've got us dry right on through at least Saturday. Sunday's high up to about 96, maybe an isolated storm somewhere in the area by Sunday and Monday afternoon and evening, but not many to go around. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Soon we'll be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. During our big moving sale, get a great deal on a Kubota with 0% APR up to 84 months with approved credit. Now through September 30th, 2024. See Capital Tractor in Montgomery or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Hey, we got some calls rolling in.
All right.
Try to do the Trump,
You can make it work.
Trump dance to this. Let's go to Paul. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Joey.
Hello.
Hello, Paul. You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I got an idea about how the wasp got in there with y'all.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
You know, sometimes when you're just out walking across the parking lot, just from the car to the door, they'll buzz you. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
If you got something on, some kind of cologne or something else that attracts them, they'll buzz back behind you and they'll land on your garment. And then they'll just kind of crawl around like, what is this? What am I sensing? And meanwhile, you done opened the door and going on in, and all of a sudden it realizes, oh, wow, I'm not outside anymore. And then they just start buzzing all around.
Wow.
Good old bug zappers on the inside. I get them, though.
Yeah, that takes a lot of fun out of the studio. Watching Joey with a wasp.
Like the one day I don't have a
best
hat.
things ever. And then Craig got to witness it too, which was even better.
I hate wasps.
Yeah. I was listening that day. I was cracking up.
Yeah, because Craig gets it, and then it's like right on the board where I have to turn on the mics and go, and I'm like...
And Joey's like, we're not going to have a show. I'm not touching the button.
And Eddie's over there going, just grab it.
Just grab it.
Yeah, I know he doesn't sound that way, but the what he said deserves to be said that way. Just grab it.
Just grab it.
Well, don't you know if you just take and pick them up with their wings, that they can't sting you? They can't curve the stinger backwards. They
I have fell for that before. That is a lie. That is a bald-faced lie.
I was wondering if either one of you had heard that one before.
Yes. And then I was told I grabbed by the wrong wing. So I had to try it again. Oh, you grabbed the left wing. You got to grab the right one.
Son, seriously, just smack it with your... You can...
Just squeeze it and walk away.
Right.
Squeeze it and walk away.
Mm-hmm. What you do is while they are landing, you come in from behind them, you put your index finger on the thorax, and then when they stick your wings out, you close your thumb and your middle finger on both wings, and you pick them up, and then that little stinger is just a wiggling. But you got to do it all in one move.
Or you can get off that flip-flop and just smack the crap out of it and be done with it.
Yeah, no, because it came back.
Right,
That's exactly what we ended up doing.
Back.
Yeah.
I forgot.
It wasn't fully dead.
Flip-flops, if it's not a hard bottom, are usually too soft, and all you're going to do is make it mad.
Well, we did make it
Especially
mad.
if it's
We got it
it's one of them big old red wasps.
It was. It was. When the abdomen is like hanging.
Yes.
It was big.
He was healthy. Very healthy.
All right, guys. I'm listening.
All right, Paul. Good to holler at you, brother.
Oh, let's go to Skeeter. Hey, Skeeter.
What's happening, Skeeter?
Hey, y'all, how y'all doing today, man?
Good.
I got a word and a phrase that we're redefining today.
Okay.
The word is assassination. They're going to redefine it as inward aggression turned outwards. That'll fit them. And then we're going to define far left socialist as warm, cuddly, and neighborly.
There you go.
Ain't that how we're doing it now? We're redefining stuff.
We are, and we're inventing new words. As
We just want to love you.
Yeah. Love the life right out of you.
Y'all, man, I just thought of that.
No, I
thank you,
appreciate
Skeeter.
it, Skeeter. It's a good one, man.
Y'all have a good one.
You too, brother.
So more on this body cam footage. This is a Wall Street Journal write-up and exclusive with the details. Local Pennsylvania police complained in the moments after last month's attempted assassination of Donald Trump that they warned the U.S. Secret Service days in advance that the warehouse where the shooter was positioned needed protection. This is according to videos, not just somebody said something. Quote, I effing told them they needed to post guys effing over there. I told them that effing Tuesday, said a Butler Township officer in audio captured on his body-worn camera. I talked to the Secret Service guys. They're like, yeah, no problem. We're going to post guys over there.
Maybe they did post somebody.
The footage paints a more complete picture of the anger and frustration moments after Thomas Matthew Crooks was able to fire 8 shots at the former president from an AR-style assault rifle. A spectator was killed, 2 others were injured, of course, and Trump suffered a bullet wound to the ear. That still is one of the craziest things.
There's no doubt.
The fact that he's alive right now. And, you know, folks, I think in, say, the corporate press want to bury this.
They do. They want to.
No.
For all sorts of reasons, too.
If I was the Trump campaign, take a big bunch of more super PAC, take a big bunch of money, put a 15-minute
Put the
documentary
reminder
on
out there. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. But I see why Secret Service continues to push back at local police, because the failure is clearly in the Secret Service hands and nothing else to do but point it at somewhere else. But local police, from my understanding, still, that was the sniper that took him out. It was a local sniper.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Right.
Oh, you wanna see a clip of Kamala watch her cook?
Sure.
I'm not good with the new language, like the new slang. Like
I've heard of let
like
them
cap
cook.
or no cap or
Yeah, is that the line, right? The cap, no
yeah.
cap, and I'm not
no
lying.
cap. You're telling the truth. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I'm never gonna get that right.
I'm still figuring out how to dab up guys. Like, stupid. But Harris, apparently, there were some hecklers.
Oh?
At this big old rally. Now, the crowd, I'll admit, the sound, the crowd is raucous. They're ready to go.
Where were they at, you know?
This was in Michigan.
Ah.
Yeah, this was in Michigan, and roughly a half dozen protesters at the rally in Detroit began chanting, quote, "Free Palestine," and Kamala, Kamala, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide.
Oh. Somebody else talking in rhyme.
She twice paused her remarks to refer to the protesters. So that's what we're about to hear and witness. Let's take away. Some folks are like, let her cook. And I'm like, what? Am I watching Kill Tony again? Like, what is this?
To give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis. And he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
Oh, okay. Respect me.
Are these people high on speed or? Oh, wait, no. They're just high on power.
Yep.
The lust for power. The lust for power that takes over conservatives and liberals both every election day. Or season now.
Season is, which we got to get away from that.
Yeah, but daggone, man.
Got to get away from
So the crowd liked that. Some
Well,
folks are like, let her cook. And I'm like, I guess it's who's ever eating the cooking.
She could have pulled anything out and they would have liked that, I think.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Nine, 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 nine. That's all I hear. I mean, imagine living with that. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, God bless. How do you stand that? By the way, that's a bunch of white women at a Bon Iver concert. That's nothing to do with Kamala Harris. That's all a bunch of fraud too. And she only can get people at her rallies with concerts.
No, you just reminded me. I need to look it up. Alex Jones rant, refashioned to sound like a Bon Iver song.
Oh, good Lord.
I mean, there you go. I mean, just the voice, guys, please. Just imagine Xi Jinping calls and goes, "Hey, guys, we're about to nuke you." And she goes, "Nyah, nyah, nyah, nyah," and goes, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah.
This is Kim Jong-un.
I don't remember her
call.
having any
There you go.
really
I'm
good
going to
relationships with any foreign leaders at all.
I'm going to take Ukraine. I'm going to take Eastern Europe. Nyah, 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 nyah.
So you're not a fan?
Just imagine her as your wife. You'd be like, "Honey, I don't want to do that today. I want to go with the guys to go play golf." Nyah, 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 nyah.
No. No. Just no. I would have listened to Willie Brown. I would have never married her.
Oh, well, you know what? Know what she said when she talked to Willie Brown?
doing.
Nay,
I gotta
hey.
go.
Hey.
Say it. I'm just saying, I would have listened to him.
You would have listened to him.
Yeah. He said stay away from her.
Now, I don't remember if this has curse words in it, so we might have to dump it.
Oh.
But this is the Alex Jones Bon Iver. So that's what I think that's right-wing cope on Twitter.
Yeah.
That, they invited people to a Bon Iver concert and everybody showed up for that, just like they did with Megan Thee Stallion. I'm like, well, maybe, but there's still a lot of people there.
Yes.
Getting brainwashed together, all in the same wavelength, chanting, "This is what democracy looks like."
And they do get to vote.
Right. So, however you get people there.
Right. That's true. That's true, Joe.
Like, you want to attract bears? Bring the honey. What do you think I was going to say? Here's Alex Jones, a rant by Alex Jones, done in the style of a Bon Iver indie folk song. This is 12 million views. It's 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's listen in together.
Store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order.
Yeah.
And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're one giant death factories keeping babies alive. They're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, "We love Satan, we want to eat babies." I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man.
This is a literal Jones rant.
Wow. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Oh, goodness.
Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed.
Oh, wow.
Man.
No, there's a reason that's got 12 million views.
12 million views.
That's hysterically funny, especially if you're watching it.
Wow.
Well, I think it's going to be okay, Eddie.
I think we're screwed.
Yeah, you're back to where I was yesterday. Yeah, we're kind of screwed, no matter who gets elected, where the politics go. Just the way things are going generally, maybe there's some wonderful thing that happens, but it doesn't seem like it.
That asteroid? That what you're talking about?
Yeah. Or maybe the AI overlords will be like, good. Try to help us.
Or maybe they're teaching us a lesson now.
Yeah. This is part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. We were telling you earlier about some of the custom design work Josh does.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to check that out, just go to Dillon Rings on Facebook or Instagram. You can see some of these custom-made pieces he's recently put together, from a sapphire diamond pendant to a emerald diamond pendant to these hoop earrings. Like
really cool, actually.
Really cool stuff that he can put together. But of course, maybe you're looking to shop for everyday jewelry. That stuff you wear to the beach or when you're out hiking. You still want to look great. Maybe at night on the town when you know you're going to get a little rowdy. You don't be wearing your nicest jewelry for that. But the beautiful thing about Dillon Rings everyday jewelry, still beautiful. Still looks great. Beautiful. People are going to be impressed. And then, of course, they can help you across the board. They're a full-service jewelry shop there at Dillon Rings. So what does that mean? It means things like appraisals. You know, with inflation, the way it's been the last several years, why not get that heirloom, that family heirloom reappraised? It's probably worth a lot more than you think.
Yes.
You don't have to sell it. Just
know the value.
And they are the gold standard of appraisals there at Dillon Rings. Of course, they can also do repairs.
Yep.
Including watch repairs. They can do spa treatments, even pearl stringing.
That's right. They can string you some pearls.
And I saw a pearl necklace he made just the other day.
Interesting.
Absolutely beautiful. If they were unique, they were almost like golden.
Oh, really?
Pearls, yeah, beautiful. So they do it all there at Dillon Rings. Check them out today. Again, you can always go to Dillon Rings on Facebook or Instagram, or go to DillonRings.com. That's DYLAN rings.com. But I really encourage you to stop by that brand new, just renovated showroom, 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that, well, Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a much years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Carol Kennedy with Camo Country, and we've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for many years, and we appreciate Blue Water Broadcasting helping promote Camo Country.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
I'm Hannah Grantham, and together with Eddie Bader, we are your listing specialists with Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
We know the Tri-County market like the back of our hands. As listing experts, we use top-notch marketing strategies to ensure your home gets the attention it deserves.
And when we say top-notch, we mean it. Professional photos, compelling descriptions, and a dedicated approach that truly stands out in today's market.
We're committed to providing the highest level of service and expertise.
So if you're ready to sell, why settle for less when you can have the best? Give me a call today at 334-368-6358.
Because your home deserves the best.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Bravo Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Well, ask me this question again this time next week when it slows back down.
Oh, okay.
We are blowing and going. We have the Auburn project going on, trying to get all the apartments turned over for the kids to show up next week.
War Eagle.
And it's been fun. I got to say, I enjoy being this chaotic and running 100 miles an hour, and still handling all our regular business on top of this extra business. So, at the end of the day, there's a reason people want to call us because we have the best price around, we have the best crews around, and we will get the job done in a timely manner. But it all starts with that phone call, 285-8117.
Again, that number 285-8117. Even when they're busy, they're still ready to take your call. And when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them, yeah, you heard Ray Bowles here on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
And Eddie, I still have that dog. What is your address?
It is. I live over there in Forest Hills. No, wait, we moved. I forgot now. We're. What is your address, Joey?
Well, I got a better idea. Text me Eddie's. He's an apartment though, isn't he?
Yeah. I got an address for you. I'll send you. I really do got someone that'd probably take that dog.
Yeah, no, we can send it to Joey's house.
Yeah, you
Joey
could.
needs a dog.
It's not my house, though.
Right. But I know the guy. It'd be all right. Yeah.
Well,
we'll-
if anybody's in the market for a boxer that is extremely cute and crazy personality, call me too. Okay.
Ray, you got to put a picture out there on Facebook. It'll be gone tomorrow.
I'm not on Facebook.
Oh, Ray.
Maybe one of the girls can help.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Emma doesn't know I'm doing this.
Oh.
Oh, my.
So,
Then, no, I would not like that dog.
Facebook.
Thank you for the offer, though.
I'm going to break the news once and find her a good home.
All right. Good luck with that, Ray.
Always ask forgiveness, never permission.
Wise man.
Wise man.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Call
You too,
me
brother.
quickly. Bye.
Again, 285-8117, whether you're looking for new flooring options or if you're looking for that dog.
Yeah.
I want that dog.
Want that dog?
Mm-hmm. So what did we learn today? Anything?
We learned that we still don't have a policy, or I would say structure policy coming out of the Kamala camp. We've got a lot of, we're going to cut, and we're going to save, and we're going to do this, but no real meat on that bone.
Right, and Trump did what, an hour and a half today?
Hour and a half, easy. It was entertaining. We covered 99% of it. I was entertained the whole time, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it to be informative. We learned about the debate.
The debate's coming up. They've agreed to a few. So that's good news, I guess.
That's good.
And I guess we learned that the CrossFit Games need to up their safety standards.
And even with the drone thing, that kind of disturbed me because you got a drone up and overhead.
Well, they do that in general for covering the event, but yeah.
There's a lot of eyes on that, not just one guy. Disappointing.
Absolute tragedy there for those who don't know. Guy died at a CrossFit event in the opening day, so they canceled a lot, drowned to death. Yeah. Ooh. Of course, also, we learned there was going to be a vice presidential debate.
Oh, yes. Is that going to be the final one?
Yeah, between Walz and... No, I bet you it's in between.
I hope it is.
Presidential.
Oh, I did see a report today that they're begging Steve Martin to play Walz on like Saturday Night Live or something, but Steve Martin has said no, he will have nothing to do with that. So look for that to be coming out soon.
Probably a good choice.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get Larry David, pay him again to go, Trump's a racist.
I think he'll do it for free.
I don't care if he's a big lib, a frickin' love curve.
He'll do it for free, I bet, just to do it. Yeah.
So we're going to get out of here.
All right.
Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Beadle. He's next. Thank you all, especially the folks watching online. Big numbers today.
Had a
like
good
seeing
one.
that.
Had a good one.
He's big for us. Y'all stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN